Everybody to another edition of the NERDWatch podcast. I, of course, am G Money here on another lovely Wednesday evening right here in the heart of Wailuku Town on the beautiful island of Maui in the great state of Hawaii. And man, oh man, do we have a show tonight. I tell you, it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. If you can't tell by the title, we are going to talk about one of the biggest movies of the year. Yes, we are. But before we do that, I do have to introduce the crew that I have tonight on the program. So let me get right to it, shall I? First off, joining us this evening, he is the producer, seducer. He's also the man who I got to see, that movie with. I got to see that movie that we're going to talk about tonight with. He was a good partner. He kept my left hand very warm during the show. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody say hello to Kai Kai.
First of all, I never consented to any of the things you just said right there. Secondly,
you grabbing my hand. You needed my consent.
No. First of all, that never happened. Secondly,
right.
Shut up.
Sure, it didn't.
No, it did not happen. Mm-hmm, you are in a delusion that is in your own imagination.
No, that I'm telling you, it happened. I hate to tell you this, but it happened. Also joining us this evening,
getting consent.
He is our man in black.
Oh shit!
He's also the man who's our maven of magic and our gaming guru. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Phormat. How's it going, Phormat?
Oh, man. I was worried it was just going to be you two.
I was worried, too.
Yeah, I know. I was, too. But that's okay. Well, Phormat, I don't know if you got to watch it yet, but the show.
Titanic? Yes.
Yeah, oh, good. Great. I'm glad you got to see Titanic. Sweet beans.
Also, I like the part where he drowns. Oh shit. Spoilers.
Oh, great.
I think that was Rose's favorite part as well.
I think you just want to get away from Rose. I don't want to deal with this lady.
Also joining us this evening, he is our comic book artist extraordinaire. He is the creator of Disco Thunder Groove Bum, Mohawk Thunder, and of course his perennial work, the Kukui Project. You caught him 2 weeks ago at Maui Comic-Con selling his goodies. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Hawaiian Salted Superman. It's Todd Bernardi. How's it going, Todd?
Great. I'm glad to be back.
Nice. I'm glad that you are back.
Surprisingly.
Why are you wearing a jacket, Todd? It's freaking hot.
Haiku.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Only for Hollies, though, I think, huh? And finally, and certainly not least, well, finally, for now, let's just put it this way. He is the chairman of the comic book board. He is the godfather of comic books. He is the sinister minister of Maui Comic-Con and the self-proclaimed comic master. He is freaky. He is deaky. He is definitely leaky, and his bebedies can be quite streaky. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Dr. Freaky Daddy Leaks. Wait. Let me try. Wait, one more time. Alika!
Yep.
Yeah, he's not there.
All right.
Let me, one more time. Wait. Let me try one more. Alika!
Yeah, it's not working.
No, it's not working.
He disappeared again.
Nice to see some things never change.
Never change.
It never does, really.
Never changes. God dang it, dude.
You think
Anyway, golly. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Of course, We are streaming, simulcasting, as we say, simul-streaming on Facebook at facebook.com/NerdWatch, on YouTube at NerdWatch Nation, and on Twitch at NerdWatch808. That's NerdWatch808. Follow us on all of the on the Twitters and the Instagrams and all this other stuff. It's all there at the bottom of the screens. Also, we will be taking your chats as well. So if you guys have any questions, comments, if you're in the chat, say hello to everybody. Wait. Alika! No, he left again.
Stop it. It's not working. Alika!
Jeez Louise.
Why is he playing downwards?
I don't know.
Got a nice shot of his boobs there. Nice.
I know. He got a nice shot of his torso. Good Lord.
That's a beer gun I want.
Way to be on time there, sir.
He's stinky. He's definitely leaky, and his remedies are quite streaky. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Dr. Freaky Daddy Leaky. It's Alika.
Alika?
Wow.
We lost him again.
That's wait, slower. Can you do that? Can you do that slower? Can you put that in your mouth a little slower? For next bite. Yeah. I think it's gyoza. Is what I'm guessing.
They're Jack in the Box tiny tacos.
Oh, they're tiny tacos. They look like gyozas from here.
Yeah,
wow.
It's just fun to say. Tiny tacos.
Tiny tacos?
There you go.
Well, gentlemen, tonight's the night. This is the last show before. Well, technically, last week was the last show. This is this very special show because this is all about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh, there's no show tonight? Okay. No. See you guys.
This is all about Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, until the new year. So we got a lot to talk about. I think Gannon is watching Matrix Resurrections. I just came out today, so I don't know what's going on with that. But I wanted to see. I think I'm going to watch that tonight after the show, and then we'll talk about it at the beginning of the new year, our first show of the new year of 2022, which would be kind of crazy. But anyway, everybody in this, did everybody have a chance to watch Spider-Man No Way Home yet? Are we all caught up before we give anything away?
Nope.
I'm so sorry, Phormat. That's on me.
All right. Well,
that's on me.
Phormat, are you okay? Because there's going to be a lot of stuff in this podcast tonight. Everybody's had about just about over a week to watch this thing. So,
I tried to go spoiler free for as long as I could, and it's been a week.
So. Yeah.
Well, now the studios are spoiling it, so it's crazy. Yeah. Like you can't.
Well, I haven't seen anything, so I mean, I can guess. Because it's a Marvel movie, I can kind of guess what happened, but
sure. Well,
you know what? It's kind of G Money's fault that you didn't get to see it.
Why is it my fault?
Because it's your responsibility. We're your cast and crew, bro.
Well, the fact of the matter is that it was hard to get tickets. Number one, because of all of the crashes on the website. Number two, our theater went as of the premiere of Spider-Man went 100%. And with only one seat buffers now, which I don't know.
Sound like 100%.
That's what I said, and I was like, I don't know what that means exactly because that does not sound like 100%. So it's that maybe, but that happened the night of. I guess the mayor had given the theater the okay for 100%, or what the county calls 100%, on the day of Spider-Man. So
but you had to show a vaccination card to get in.
No.
No, only at Regency in Kihei.
The one in Regency, Kihei said that was because the governor or the mayor mandated it.
Negative. He did not. Not for theaters. No vaccination card required at Kaumanu or Regal. None required. Okay. So Regency is the only one that's actually requiring it, and that's on them, not on the county.
It might be an occupancy thing because those are smaller theaters.
It's definitely possible. All of those those Kihei freaking howlies over there being all weird and stuff.
We didn't have a 1-seat buffer.
Maybe. Well, could be that. Could be the case.
People were sitting
next to each other.
Next to each other.
Were they sharing
on each other?
They were sharing the same recirculated air in that small theater. Oh my gosh!
Silvani. So I went and saw it with James, and Silvani had somebody that we didn't know sit right next to him.
Wow. Well, listen. It's a good thing we went to see this film when we did. Because
it's great.
Yeah.
Good thing. It's a good thing.
Again, Phormat. I am so sorry.
See, thank you.
Dude. It's all good.
Yeah,
Phormat, what'd you think about House of Gucci? You love it?
Wow. Did you get? By the way, Phormat, did you get to watch it? House of Gucci. Weirdly enough.
No, I have the screener for it.
I do too as well. I haven't had a chance to watch it either. I really want to watch it though, so I'm kind of excited to see it myself.
Sing 2 is fun though.
Oh, Sing 2. I have Sing 2. That's that animated Thai movie. I think. I don't know what to say, but I also wanted to see
Thai movie. What?
Yeah, Sing 2.
Okay.
Oh, anyway, I also wanted to watch that. I know it's weird, but I wanted to see that Denzel Washington movie, the Tragedy of Macbeth movie. No, the Tragedy of Macbeth movie that he's got coming out on Apple TV Plus. So I'm kind of excited about that. But anyway, tonight is all about the Speedermans. But what I do right before we get to Speederman and the crew, Alika, you haven't had the opportunity to talk. Oh, his mouth is full. Of course it is. You haven't had an opportunity to talk about it. We talked about it when you weren't on, but we said that we gave our thoughts on Maui Comic-Con 2021. What are your thoughts, and what can we expect in the future as far as Comic-Con 2022?
Maui Comic-Con, I mean, was just incredible. I'm biased, obviously, because I love the event and we put a lot of love into it. But just every day, today included, I went to the post office. I don't go outside the house much, but every time I do, no fail, every day, somebody will stop me and say how much they enjoyed the Comic-Con. Or when I'm up at the shop, I'll ask if they went, and if they did, they definitely had a good time. I think mission accomplished and then some. Everything we set out to do, we did, and everything we intended to do, we did better than we thought we would. So everything was great. It was a safe event. It was a fun event for families. Everybody had a great time, and I just what to expect is you can just expect more of that, and maybe bigger next year.
Fantastic. So Maui Comic-Con 2021.
And you know, I'm just to stick it in your craw, G.
Oh,
just,
cool.
Because that's one of my favorite things to do.
Shall I bend over?
No, where's your craw? I'm sorry. I misunderstood that saying, I guess.
What the hell is going on?
All right, what is it? What is it?
Cartoonist Kayfabe. Mm-hmm. A great podcast, G Money.
Yeah, they are. They're fantastic.
If you want to take some notes on podcast greatness,
I will.
Cartoonist Kayfabe on YouTube, featuring the independent comic stars Ed Piskor and Jim Rugg, who were guests at our convention, interviewed Archie Kuo Johnson, Maui boy, who's now the cover artist to the New Yorker magazine. 3 award-winning graphic novels under his belt now at this point. No one else just recently released. We have them all available for sale at Maui Comics and Collectibles. But they did their interview on Cartoonist Kayfabe. Anybody who's got the time and the internet, clearly if you're hearing me now, you probably have the internet, go to YouTube and watch the latest Cartoonist Kayfabe interview with Archie Kuo Johnson. And it's an incredible interview, wide-ranging, and they cover a lot of his journey from Maui to the New Yorker.
My favorite part was how you couldn't help but interject. I was like, of course Alika's going to find a way to get into this.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
What part did I interject? Now I'm like...
You were talking about, I guess some fireworks went off, and then you started talking about this and that. And then at one point...
Welcome to Kahalui!
There was like a lull or something, and then you just started asking questions, and I was like, who's doing the interview here?
You know what's messed up? You know what's messed up is after the interview, because we were kind of like just sat down and did it. After the interview, Ed was like, "Oh man, I should have told you. You could have just jumped in and asked questions or whatever." But according to Phormat, I guess I did that enough.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting you at all. I mean, I guess
wasn't.
because of the background, I should have known better, but
that was my office, yeah. But the thing was so cool because I'm a huge fan of their channel. I watched all their interviews, and they're great interviews when it comes to comics journalism. There's not a lot of great comics journalists these days, and so just to sit there and watch them do their thing and listen to that in live time, there's a lot of stuff that didn't make that episode, like they had to cut some of it out. So
why?
It's
nudity. I'm sure.
Oh my God.
I'm sure of it.
It was an honor to be able to sit in and witness greatness.
That's cool. It was great. Like I kind of mentioned it earlier. Like I didn't know what I was because I've never watched their podcast before, but I didn't know what I was expecting. But I don't think I was expecting that. It was really cool, very laid back, very informative. A lot of information going back and forth.
I think with the kind of guy that Reed is, he's very academic. Obviously, he's a teacher at RISD. He's very academic about comics, and so are Ed and Jim. Jim's an instructor, I think, at SVA, but I believe same place as Carl Potts and Bob Camp. But they're all very academic about it, and while their style is laid back, like you said, I think that they're so natural with the academic aspect that it becomes just informative by default, and that's why I love that channel, because I love learning about comics, and it's just like a couple of buddies just bantering back and forth, like
right, exactly.
Like Reed said at the end of the interview, which I laughed so hard at, was the subtext of cartoonist kayfabe is male friendship. and that's kind of the subtext of the NERDWatch too, fellas. But I don't
know. We get ladies on here sometimes.
Yeah. But they're always just one of the guys when they're,
Are they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not if G has anything to say about
how was
I know.
So how did they? By the way, before we get too crazy, how did the guys enjoy being here in Maui?
They loved it. Who doesn't love Maui? I can't do anything to mess that up for them. I hope so. They had a great time.
Nice. They enjoyed it. That's good. Well, listen.
It's about time they take time to enjoy themselves.
They're indoorsy guys. They do comics all the time. They're hard at work.
Sure.
And Ed got to go outside and get some fresh air and really
look at the sun. Nice.
And speaking of which, Frank Cho, Liam Sharp, all the guests had a great time. And
right.
If you guys haven't seen Ernie Reyes Jr., right after this convention, like the day after the convention, he got called for a kidney transplant. He found a donor. So they just went through that procedure. If you guys are able to donate anything to his family, it happened all of a sudden. They don't really know ahead of time when you're going to get called for that. It's kind of like a on the fly kind of thing. And so now he's out of his main source of income because he's got to do his recovery. So if you guys can go check out the Reyes family GoFundMe and donate to that and help Ernie get through this period, he's going to come back better than ever after his kidney transplant.
Oh, wow.
Congratulations to him. That was great to hear.
Yeah.
Good.
6 years waiting.
What's all that background noise, by the way?
Something about Maui.
Jeez Louise. Is that television or something? Crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. Looks like we're getting trolled in our chat on Twitch. I took care of it, so don't freak out.
Who's trolling in the Twitch?
I don't know. It's pretty disgusting. But
I love
I'm not,
trolls.
I blocked him on Twitch already. It's already taken care of. But anyway, what do you mean why?
What were they talking about?
It's disruptive to the chat. They're being ridiculous.
Was it racial? Was it racist?
Yes, it was. It
was racist?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know I love that.
You're such a dork, dude. Anyway, I took care of it. But moving on.
It's Twitch, so they're the only ones there.
Is that what it is? Are they the only ones there?
Pretty much.
Oh, nice. Sure. Nice. Anyway,
you should just ignore it.
No. You gotta, you gotta make sure that everybody, we took care of it because people are seeing stuff. So you gotta make sure you say something. Come on now. Anyway, now, Spider-Man: Far From Home is what we're talking about tonight. Now,
Far From Home.
Excuse me, No Way Home. That's what I mean.
Yeah, Phormat actually saw Far From Home.
Okay, good. Do we want to talk about that instead?
I'm in.
Are you in?
Yeah.
Nice. Now,
I mean, they were so far.
Spider-Man: No Way Home was the big movie of the year. A big shout out to Alika from Michael Becker. He said, "Good to see Alika back." I mean, I'm kind of. I mean, honestly, I mean, is it though? I mean, yeah, exactly. So, anyway, now, gentlemen, Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Spider-Man: Homeward Bound.
Let's just put it out there right now. This was or is the biggest movie of the year, box office wise. Not only is it going to break records this weekend, it's going to break records for the year, if I'm not mistaken. If it stays on track the way it is, it's already outperforming Shang-Chi. It totally obliterated the Eternals, took that right off the map. So it looks like it's going to, we talked about it before, but Paul Thomas Anderson, the director, said he said that Spider-Man: No Way Home was going to save movie theaters. I think that he was definitely right about that in some respects. We don't know. Of course, as we know, this whole COVID thing and the Omicron stuff, we don't know what's going to happen at this point. But it is fascinating to me how well this movie actually did, considering. And Todd, I don't know about you, Todd, but you know what's back? You know what makes money at the box office?
Marvel movies.
White male leads in movies, Todd.
That's not what that was. This is just a series of I
don't understand your gibberish.
You got Todd twisted up.
I know
already.
I did. I trolled him.
Wow,
it worked out
fast.
perfect. That was great.
That's some kind of record.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to make
the
money,
fans
Todd?
loved this movie. The fans loved it.
You want to make money?
Like, can we spoil it? Like, I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, well, listen. Let's just call it now. What makes money in Hollywood?
We usually give about a week window.
Because you're talking about white male leads, and they're like, well, it's better than one. Let's get 3 of them, man.
Let's get 3 white male leads. That's what makes money in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Just know all this woke crap.
Baby.
White male leads, baby.
It just goes to show you that given the chance, white guys can kick the crap out of everybody at the box office.
That's correct. Just give us the chance.
Just give them a chance to shine, baby.
Just give us a chance, baby.
What we're gonna see next year is all white nerdy protagonists. 2/3 of them are gonna be from England, and they're just gonna have all of these movies.
Have they cloned Michael Cera yet?
No, clone Tom Holland, because he's adorable.
I think Michael Cera is like a defective Tom Holland clone.
That's fair. Anyway, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about Spider-Man. Phormat. I'm so sorry you didn't get a chance to watch it. You are you okay with us talking about it?
The movie that's playing in my head is much better than the one in the theater anyway.
Tom Holland, Michael Cera clone is half Dolly the sheep, half Tom Holland.
Dolly the sheep?
What?
I did find
Dolly
it
the sheep, the sheep that they cloned in Scotland. I mean,
I did find it interesting.
What the hell are you smoking?
That Marvel, the way they write movies, they don't even shy away from it now. Is you literally have to watch all 73 freaking movies and TV shows that they did.
That's a thing now.
But can I tell you guys? I went to watch this movie with Jim Rugg. Jim Rugg is in the Todd Bernardi school of nerd comic moviedom.
Here we go.
All those pretentious types are.
And
his wife with Jim.
And his wife doesn't care for any Marvel stuff at all. So
Well, yeah, she's surrounded by comics constantly. Of course,
That's
she
true.
is.
That's true. That's a good point.
So it was hilarious sitting next to them because the theater was full of mega fans. So every cameo that to a person seeing that movie the first time would mean nothing to, but
Sure.
a person seeing this as the 80th installation of the MCU
Yeah.
is watching. The audience is like gasping, and like there's like literal audience participation, right?
Yeah.
And Jim turned to me at one point and goes, "This reminds me of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. How much audience participation there is here." Like he was, and I was like, that kind of put it in perspective. I was like,
And Alika turned to Jim and said, "Oh, Jim, what's the Rocky Horror Picture Show?"
Yeah, no. I was actually wearing a corset with my perm. And,
Nice.
Were you playing the transsexual from Transylvania? Is that what you were doing? That's right.
You know, it was funny because every 2 seconds, because there would be a moment, and I would turn to him and I'd be like, "Did you see this movie?" Or "Did you see?" You know what I mean? I had to turn to him and be like, "Did you see this?" And some of them, he'd be like, "Yeah, I saw that," and he'd be like, "I recognize that guy," and most of them, he'd be like, "No, what?"
Gentlemen, before we move any further, ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the makeup artist to the stars. Cynthia is in the house. Cynthia,
Hi guys.
raising the roof.
Oh wow.
Cynthia, how are you?
I'm okay. God, Todd's lighting is good.
Isn't it though?
Damn, Todd.
Todd's good. You, by the way,
You got better sound. You got better sound. Than I
you
do.
sound
You've got an
fantastic. By the way,
amazing.
So-
I'm a
How's it
pro,
going?
guys. I don't
yeah.
wanna
Can I tell
brag.
you now? Listen, I have to. Can I compliment you, Cynthia?
Sure, I'll let you.
La-
I'll allow
last-
Can
you.
you comment? Can you comment on your looks, Cynthia?
Well,
You
listen,
were here
this is-
last week. You missed it.
Right. Well, this is how. This is the only way I can because this is the only time it's appropriate. Last
It's
week, as you know,
appropriate?
you had a different hairstyle and color,
Yes.
and it looks like you went back to something more traditional, and it looks great.
Oh God.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah.
what made you decide to go all natural, as it were?
Laziness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just laziness.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds about
fair.
right.
Gotcha. Either way, it looks great.
Thanks.
So now, Cynthia,
Mhm.
tonight's the night. We're
Okay.
talking about Spider-Man.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, everything good with the family? I hope.
Everything's great. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, good. Did you get a chance to see it?
I did.
Fantastic. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do. We're all
Okay.
going to talk about this film.
Hmm.
I'm going to start because that way everybody can tear apart my review
Got it.
if necessary, if need be. Okay. Just so there's a precursor, just know that Phormat was unable to see Spider-Man No Way Home because of
COVID.
because of no. It was definitely because of
COVID.
Kai.
I know.
Yeah, so it's totally his fault. But we're gonna talk about this in detail. He is okay with spoilers, so we don't have to worry about that. But
Yeah.
everybody has seen it, so so everyone saw it
Man,
except for
I can't
Phormat.
wait for my review. So Dave can speak for me.
Again, Phormat.
Ooh.
At the
I
end,
wanna hear
Phormat's
Phormat's
going to
review
review
first.
everybody's review.
Maybe we should hear Phormat's first.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's get right into it. Everybody's waiting for this. Might as well. All right. Spider-Man No Way Home. So I'm going to start off with a couple positive notes first.
If you continue with is a movie, I'm going to slap you.
yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home positively is probably the most fun Spider-Man movie I have seen. It's probably the most fun and the best time I've had in the movies in a long time when it comes to. Then again, that could be COVID talking, and because we haven't been in the movies in a long time, I will say that. But well, the however will come in a moment. I thought that this was the best version of Zendaya's MJ I have seen, in my opinion. I think she is great in this movie. I think that both her and Jacob Batalon was good in the film.
Can I just say this part right here? Because
Sure.
in our theater, most of the kids were
Employee
local
experience is about how do you make your
Filipino
workforce
kids.
productive.
What the heck? Okay.
Sorry.
go ahead.
And so when Jacob Bantalan's Lola was talking in the movie, all the kids were laughing because they understood what she was saying.
She was speaking Tagalog. So yes.
It was pretty interesting. Like I caught a couple words here and there too. I was like, oh snap.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that this was the best. This was the best trio, or the best movie they've done together as a trio. I think there's a lot of relationship involved. I really enjoyed their chemistry together. I really enjoyed. I really thought that opening sequence was really good. The way that they had filmed Tom and Zendaya, swinging around New York. That was pretty cool, considering we've never really seen him do that often. There's a lot of different shots of that. I thought that was cool. I really enjoyed that. I thought once again, Marissa Tomei killed it. I thought she was great. I thought she killed it. I thought she was really well done.
Her performance was spectacular.
I
left
thought
everything on the screen.
She did. And what I thought was really interesting about the film is that we're coming in this film directly after Far From Home. So as an audience, you really have to have known what was going on in Far From Home to get the gist of. You can't just. I don't think this is the first time I thought you couldn't walk into a Spider-Man movie cold. You literally had to see Far From Home to get where we were in No Way Home, in my opinion. So I got that. I think overall, this is not the best Spider-Man movie I've seen. In Tom Holland's series, I think Homecoming still holds that position, in my opinion.
Yeah, Iron Man 5.
Shut your mouth, Todd. Homecoming still holds that position, but I will say that what we saw in No Way Home was the story seemed to be going in a certain direction. It seemed to have a few missteps in my estimation. It also had a couple of plot holes that I thought, at least in my mind, I couldn't get over. But I thought that there was also some very masterful strokes in this film. As we know, I might as well get it out there when you guys talk about it. We know that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie. Okay, we know that their Spider-Men are in this film.
They were.
Okay.
I didn't recognize them.
Right, and we know that they're in this film, and I'll get to them in a moment. I will say what was fascinating is that from the previews that we got, we understand that now all of a sudden the rift has been open and that he is experiencing multiverse Spider-Man villains in this film. Okay. I thought that the connection that was made between the multiverse and this Spider-Man it didn't have enough. It wasn't tight enough, in my opinion. I didn't understand. There were things that I didn't understand about the film's story, and the fact that these villains would show up who had already died, and then when the Spider-Mans of those universes showed up, they were already older and have already experienced this stuff already, which I didn't kind of.
Well, it's not linear in the multiverse.
Correct. So obviously time is not linear, so that I understand. I got that. Richard in the chat makes a good point. It's also magic, which I do get as well. But I thought that thread that didn't stick, as it were, for me. I thought that was a little bit confusing. I thought that Tom Holland nailed something in this film that no other Spider-Man has done since Andrew Garfield in The Amazing Spider-Man. I love the fact that the reason why the things are happening is because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is not about sending these people back. It's about him trying to get them trying to make them better. I thought that's the Spider-Man that I know. That's cool. I really like the fact that Spider-Man wanted to fix it. He didn't want it to just be what it was. He wanted to fix it. And I thought it's a very noble thing. That's a Spider-Man that I grew up with and that I know. Now, the other interesting thing I thought was underwhelming is I thought how they introduced the Spider-Man into Tom Holland's universe.
You mean a character that's never used magic before? Using magic to get them all in the same place?
Yeah.
That didn't make sense to you?
I will say, Todd.
I'm shocked.
I'm going to agree with you.
There's magic in their family, and
you've had 3 movies to set that up. You waited like 35 minutes into the 3rd movie.
He's a magical minority. Come on, guys.
He's a magical minority.
Also, way to shit on Doctor Strange's powers. Like, you just get put on the ring.
No, it's just like you put on the sling ring and you can do whatever you want, which I thought was weak. Which I thought was number one. I thought was weak.
Weak to Doctor Strange in general.
Yeah, and see, and that was the other thing that I really had a problem with. Like I said, I'm not going in order. I really didn't like the fact that for convenience of the movie, that Strange just disappears, right? And then, ironically enough, the villains escape, and then they disappear until they're needed to come back into the movie for the finale, which I thought was a little bit like, I thought to myself, what? That bothered me a lot. I will say that it was underwhelming how the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield were introduced in the film. That was underwhelming to say the least, at least for me. I didn't like that. But I will say this. That was made, at least for me, it was made up in that finale when they had the chance to talk to one another. I thought that was great. And I thought that worked out really well. And I thought that Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man's Peter Parker had the opportunity to right the wrong that he had done, or at least in his eyes. I thought that was wonderful. I thought that was great. And I tell you what, Andrew Garfield, in my estimation, is the most underrated Spider-Man we've ever had. Andrew Garfield was great in every scene of this film he was in. I loved Andrew Garfield, and I think the Amazing Spider-Man, the first one he's in, is fantastic. And for him to get kind of closure in this movie was great. I really appreciated that. I didn't have so much a problem with the villains per se, but I will say that I think that the movie I can't believe I'm saying this. I think this is the first time I've had to agree with Todd's other his critiques of the other films. I felt this Spider-Man, out of all of them, was probably the most ill-conceived as far as story. Now, I understand that this is going to be a continuation. This is going to be a continuing saga. I understand they're setting up for the Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange. I understand that. So I understand the way it ended. I don't mind that.
Did you understand that? Was not the end credits scene that was literally a trailer?
The trailer? Literally a trailer?
That was the weird. That was weird to anybody else. Like that, the second credit scene was actually just a trailer. It was not.
That's all it was. That's all it was.
They did it for an Avengers movie. They did an Avengers trailer on the end of one of the standalone films. I can't remember which one.
I think that overall,
but it was weird, yeah.
And I'll move on to you guys, and we'll talk about it. We'll get into other situations as far as in the movies that you guys want to highlight. I think overall this movie was successful because it just wanted to tell a decent story. It didn't need.
It's not successful.
No. I what I'm saying is that it was a decent story in the fact that we've been bombarded with the Eternals, which no one really watched. Shang-Chi, which is a brand new character. I mean, as far as Marvel goes, that people weren't really gravitating to yet. So getting Spider-Man at the end of the year was a big deal for them. Now, I think that and Todd's going to hate this. I always go back to Todd with this. There's a lot of fan service in this movie, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it. Did I think it ruined the movie? A little bit. I do think that by the finale, what I didn't like was the way John Watts shot the finale with all 3 Spider-Men. The action sequence
you mean where you couldn't tell which Spider-Man was Spider-Man?
Bingo, exactly. I
couldn't closely watch the Raimi and Amazing films. I mean, like, it was obvious. It was just so clear. Todd.
No, well, that's the thing is that this was shot in the dark. It was shot in the dark, and you couldn't tell. All it was streaks of red and blue. Now, once again, this is another critique that I'm going to make. I
really appreciate you warning us before you make these critiques.
I know. I want to make sure
I
everybody
really
understands
appreciate the way that like you preface it with. I'm just going to agree with Todd one more time.
I know. I hate that. I hate
everybody
it. I hate it. I will say that this hasn't bothered me since, golly, I don't remember, but this was the first Spider-Man with Tom Holland in it that he was without his mask for so long. I didn't like the fact that he constantly was out of his mask. I didn't like that. That's just a thing with me. But
they did it with Iron Man 3.
Yeah, and I didn't.
Tony Stark was basically James Bond without a suit. Right.
So the fact that he wasn't wearing it, and the fact that that's the funny thing is that if they had actually did the ending finale with none of their masks on, I think I would have been able to tell who everybody was. Yeah. But I'm not saying that finale wasn't bad, because there was some great stuff in that finale. I just think the way it was shot, unfortunately, you couldn't tell who was who, and I really think that kind of bothered me a lot in the film. Now, I'm going to stop droning. Okay. Cynthia. I'm going to go to you because, and then I'm going to go to Alika, and then so on and so forth. So, Cynthia.
Well, he just gave your review.
I gave you a review. That's so weird, right?
You basically gave my review. So.
Yeah. So, Cynthia, what did you think? You watched it with the family. So, what did you guys think?
I did not see it with my son, but I did watch it.
Okay.
Oh, I got really loud there for a second. I liked it. I thought the fan service was great. And I think Andrew Garfield stole the show, but I could not get over just how weird Doctor Strange was. And I kept waiting for something to come of how weird he was behaving, and for there to be an explanation, a real explanation of why he did that spell.
Yeah.
And how he botched it so badly. It just seemed like it didn't make any sense to me. I felt like it wasn't him, and they were going to explain that at some point.
Does he? I guess my question was, and that's a good point. Like, did he earn the arrogance of what he did? Because what I'm saying is, when he winks at Wong,
it didn't feel right. It didn't. Right. It didn't feel right. And I guess we were supposed to be thinking like, oh, he's not, top dude anymore. Wong is, and so he's, different now. I don't know what they were expecting us to think, but it was such a departure from Strange and all the other movies. Yeah. Because he's so. Especially like in Endgame and the prior movies, like he was just such a different character, and I love that character. That character makes sense. This guy didn't make any fucking sense, and I could not get over it. It distracted me the entire movie. Even when he wasn't there, it distracted me because I kept thinking they're gonna have to explain this, and they never fucking did.
And it was interesting that you mentioned that, because I really enjoyed the sequence, the sequence between him and Spider-Man in that whatever that multiverse area was.
The mirror dimension.
The mirror dimension, thank you. And I like the fact that I thought it was so funny. Thought it was hilarious the way he defeated Strange with math.
But it's so weird. Like, we're in Strange's dimension. He'll never get out of this.
He'll never get
math. And
right. And for Strange to disappear for as long as he did was a bit frustrating for me, because I'm with you on that too. That was anyway. Go on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That's my main gripe with the movie. Personally, it bothered me so much that I could not get over it. And then, Andrew Garfield came in, and I was like, much later, and I was like, all right, all right, this is okay.
Yeah,
he stole my heart, and then he started crying, and then MJ was like, "Are you okay?"
yeah, it was really cute, and I have to say that Andrew Garfield was very. He is the most out of all the Spider-Mans. He is the most emo of all the Spider-Mans, and he does it really well. And it's not a bother. You know what I'm saying? It's not like something like I'm like, oh, will you knock it off? It felt like it felt genuine.
I don't know.
I was waiting for that.
I wanted him to knock off that self-deprecating crap like towards the end.
But then Toby got to say, "But you're amazing," and then everyone.
That's it. You're amazing. I was like,
and then I nudged my husband, and he was like, "I have no idea what that."
That was so format. It was good though. It was good.
Yeah.
No, it was, but it was good.
We're all serious. That happened.
It was good. It was good.
No,
Wow.
it was. I mean, it's another display of gratuitous fan service.
It was great. It was great though. I really thought it was cool. I thought it was cool. I liked it. But were there things that you liked in the film?
Yeah, I liked Andrew Garfield. I liked God, is that it? Like I really didn't care. I mean, I want to go see the movie again, and if Omicron wasn't an like looming dark presence, I would probably go again. I just feel like, God, did I just get so caught up in this strange thing that I missed the entire movie? Because I feel like hey Ron, I feel like I just like was so upset and could not get over it. My husband walked out of it thinking it was just the greatest thing ever, and I was like, well, bully for you. I wish I could walk out, because I fully went in thinking it was going to be the greatest, and I was, obviously my expectations were really high, but my favorite thing about the movie was the trailer at the end.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm really hyped for Doctor Strange's movie, even though he let me down in this one.
I tell you what, that Multiverse of Madness trailer that came out today online was it's the same thing, and I'm super excited for that. By the way,
it's going to be directed by that Raimi guy, right?
Oh, Mr. Evil Dead.
Sam Raimi, the one that got Scott Derrickson was the one he replaced. Sam Raimi replaced him, which is a shame because I think Scott Derrickson's a great director. Sam Raimi, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. I think it'll be all right. Now
Raimi's going to be in it.
Cynthia. Are you? I know you can comment on everything else. Are you good? Because I was going to move on to Alika to see what he thought.
I'm good. Let's talk to somebody who actually knows about comics.
All right. So Alika, what was your take on Spider-Man No Way Home?
It was fun. I mean,
look at it. He loved it.
I could hear Todd's skin sizzling like a Spider-Man movie is like holy water to Todd's demonic flesh. He just it's fun. Oh, it's fun. I don't like it. It's fun. But
is he melting? I'm melting.
This movie's too fun. I don't like it. I like, so it takes a little bit get going because they have to weigh you down, like the the beginning of the movie where they kind of catch you up to speed,
right?
And since this movie references 37,000 movies, that beginning part of that movie is just like you trudging through why does everyone hate Spider-Man? Oh yeah, Mysterio. I forgot that movie happened, by the way. It's a good thing they went through that.
Yeah.
And but as soon as they were done trudging through that, that's when the Charlie Cox appearance happens, when they start getting into the new action, and that's when
I think he just blew Phormat's mind.
And so for their first exterior movie reference to be not to any of the previous Spider-Man movies, but to the Netflix movie that nobody was sure that is canon or not.
Series.
That was a moment that just like grabbed me by the crogies, if you know what I'm saying. I was like,
the crogies.
I'm
not surprised because if you've seen the last episode of Hawkeye,
yeah. But the timing with it, like
that's cool.
If you had watched episode 5 of Hawkeye and then watched this movie, which is like you would have to watch each of these as they came out, so that reveal was literally meant to pay off for the people who are up to date on every single minute of MCU.
More people freaked in my theater seeing Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock than they did
almost
seeing
jumped out of
Andrew
my
Garfield.
chair. I was like,
and more people were shocked at that than seeing Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man.
Whenever I have to hire a lawyer, I'm going to throw a brick at him first and see if he can catch it.
Well, that only works if they're blind, Todd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first you have to blind them.
Yeah.
And then you can throw bricks.
That's why he'll need a lawyer.
Yes. You got to get a second lawyer for that one. I mean, because, Doc Ock just pops in. Okay, multiverse is happening. You automatically, anybody who is like, gee, I wonder if Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are going to show up. After the whole premise of the movie in the trailer is that it's about the multiverse and they're looking in from these movies, you're like, gee, so Doc Ock's going to show up, but his Spider-Man's not going to show up somehow? That was like the stupidest smokescreen I've ever seen in my life.
So, can you imagine what would have happened if they didn't?
Yeah, it's true.
You would have been like,
I would have been baffled. I would have been like,
what a lost
could you guys not afford?
Opportunity.
Could you not afford Tobey Maguire right now, or what's going on?
Tobey Maguire did get paid the most out of all the Spider-Men. He got paid a lot.
That's what I heard.
Yep. Know your worth. Know your worth, Toby.
You get it, boy.
As a cis white male actor, you should be making 30 to 50% more than your co-stars.
Damn right. Here we go. Like I said in the beginning, white male leads is where the money's at.
It's industry standard.
Shocking.
But yeah, so I had a lot of fun in that. The reactions were great. Obviously not surprised by any of the previous Spider-Man movie guys showing up. I was shocked that they were very sloppy in Jamie Foxx's transition into a handsome
his glow up.
Yeah, his glow up. I was like, so they're not. He just passed through the portal and he's good looking now.
Pretty much.
Here was a guy that was dead in his world that looked like garbage, and all of a sudden he's Jamie Foxx. You know,
everybody was grateful for him being there because his comic relief served a purpose. He always had the best one-liner to end like an exchange between all the people. Like he would wrap it up always with like Jamie Foxx is like a great entertainer. So I am grateful.
He's like
I'm not going to scrutinize it too much.
I thought you were going to be black.
Yeah. And that was a fun line. At least you know Miles is coming because obviously this is like, Spider-Verse 1.5 basically.
I've been listening to a couple of other comic podcasts that have no problem with Miles Morales showing up, but they don't think he's going to be as successful because is it true that his comics don't sell, Alika? I mean, Miles Morales comics?
Those people are stupid and probably
Can I
just take a break here and give you since you asked me a comic question?
Oh God. Okay, go ahead.
Comicsgate is the stupidest shit ever because the premise is that diverse comics don't sell. Diverse comics are the only mainstream comics that are selling in my shop right now. Nobody wants the original, white bread characters. Nobody wants them.
Is that a Hawaii thing, though?
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't
can't
think
imagine like that being the case in the mainland.
Maybe if you're in the middle of Missouri where everybody is like a swamp monster, then yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Idaho, they love that. They love all the white people.
You know what else? You know who else loves Idaho? Private militias.
The KKK.
Yeah, the KKK. They love Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get back to the point of Spider-Man. For crying out loud, what the hell's going on?
Idaho.
Well, I just want to drive this point home to Comicsgate. I don't know if you heard that because of Son of Kal-El Superman issue 5. The first bisexual kiss by Superman with his.
You weren't on the show. We've already gone on. We've been through it.
So the colorist quit that book because he's a comic skater, and he's like, I can't believe they made me color in that gay crap. Wham! And he quit the book. That one issue.
Luigi now colors books for DC.
Was it the rainbow trail that they had him that they had him draw while the gay Superman is flying? Is that what it was?
The rainbow comes out of his butt cheeks. By the way,
nice.
There was a lot of colors. He was really upset.
Fair enough.
He only owns a couple colors. He doesn't want to go beyond that.
Kryptonian anus is like a prism. So it's split.
I still sworn that when I read the article about him, he left because that was for the True Justice and American Way thing. They took off.
That's what I thought it was too.
But same difference. It was some Comicsgate bullshit. And let me tell you that issue 5, the one that his last issue he colored, that issue outsold every DC and Marvel book in 2021 for me. I bought more copies of that than I bought for Batman or Spider-Man. Anything. That book outsold everything.
But but once again, not to get all Comicsgatey, but that's like you're doing, it's like stunt booking in wrestling. I've said it before. Like, you don't have a big match, so you're going to stunt book something, and like that's the tickets they're going to sell. So assume that
did they not sell that many comics then? Did it not?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're
trying to want comics is very well selling. It's not just that one comic that sold very well.
Well, listen, you're the expert. I'm not the comic book. You have a comic book store. I'm just.
All right. I'm telling you, Comicsgate is bullshit. And they can eat my butthole.
What the hell? What's that to do with
That's
anything?
a bold stance, and I'm with you. I'm gonna be brave too, and I'm gonna say I'm with you.
You know who would like to eat
butthole out there too?
You know who would like to eat your butthole? Bisexual Superman.
Yeah,
with his prism butt that shoots out the bisexual flag.
Yeah. Anyway,
but I can tell you one.
Have you ever licked a prism before?
Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
I like that you can get all of this from this new Spider-Man movie. Oh man,
I know, it's
We're
crazy.
in for it, Phormat.
I know.
That was a sidetrack because they were asking about Miles Morales, and I will say, Miles Morales, big seller. People look for comics specifically with Miles Morales. They don't even need the first issue to get it. They'll come and buy whatever issue's out right now. That Miles is a good seller.
All right, fair enough.
Plus, he sells well in the paperback market at bookstores also.
Yeah,
it's not even just comic books.
He's got crossover success that a lot of Marvel characters really don't have either. So yeah.
All right, we'll see if that box office matches when he comes out with his new with his brand new movie.
It's gonna smash the crap out of this garbage.
Well, I mean, you don't have to look very far. I mean, the animated movie did gangbusters too. You know,
yeah.
I mean,
for an animated movie
it won an Oscar.
Yeah, just like the first Suicide Squad, it won an Oscar.
Sign of success.
All right, Alika, are you done? Shall I move on to Todd, or what shall I do?
God, did I have anything else stupid to say about this movie?
No, you pretty much licked its butthole.
Oh,
I believe the term is licked its prism.
Can I just say how awful it was to see Captain America's shield on the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, that was bad.
Does capitalistic greed know no bounds that Disney has no shame that they have to put this shield on the Statue of Liberty? Like, nobody in their right mind in America would allow this to happen. It does, you know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, if Captain America actually existed, you never know.
I know.
Let's be honest.
I know for a fact.
You sure?
Yes.
I don't know. I think it might.
Thank you. That's what I was saying.
I think it might. Also, in the same world where Rogers the Musical exists.
Like, look, Rogers the Musical makes sense. Like, and
does it though?
Does it?
But
by the way,
I would have damn city. Of course, he gets a musical.
I would have believed if it wasn't called Rogers. If that musical was called Cap, I would have been okay with it. It called Rogers the Musical was kind of stupid.
As evidenced by the finale in the action scene, just putting a shield that big onto a statue that hasn't been designed to carry it is very dangerous. Okay, and they kind of proved my point.
It's in the middle of the ocean. What?
It's in the Hudson River.
Made of foam.
It's in the Hudson River, and Spider-Man is patrolling. So come on, guy.
If it was a cosplay shield made of foam, it would have been great.
Yeah, right.
But
see, I'm telling you.
That shield was made of
players are everywhere now.
I love the fact that your biggest critique of No Way Home is that Captain America.
I saw the shield on the Statue of Liberty, I was like, give me a break.
You know, Alika is all about the costumes, and the Statue of Liberty did not have the right costume.
That's a good point.
Oh, wait.
Really good point.
Wait, was it even the Statue of Liberty, or did they replace it with a statue of Captain Carter?
Ooh, that's a ooh. I mean, this is a different universe, so maybe. Yeah. Good point.
No, she's British.
It's true.
Well,
but then again, to be fair, Statue of Liberty is French.
Yeah,
Statue of Liberty is French.
Yeah,
anyway,
how many people really know that?
That's true. It's a good point. They don't.
Anybody I think that's seen Ghostbusters 2.
Mm-hmm. Todd,
What?
Todd, now's your time to shine, Todd. I can't wait.
But I feel like you guys have already done all the work for me. I mean, like out of all three of you, the things that you said you didn't like, I didn't like either. So like,
what else didn't you like, Todd?
What else didn't you like, Todd?
I only have more, Todd.
I thought that they really sort of, they never did anything super clever with the storytelling. They had some chances to, and they kind of blew it. They were just like, "Well, we'll give."
Can I ask you, because I didn't comment on it? What did you think of Willem Dafoe's arc?
I think that Willem Dafoe is probably one of the best villains, and I think that they paid a lot of attention to the criticism that first movie had, where they covered his face up. They made sure that he smashed that helmet so that he could act. Because you've got this real sinister looking guy, and then you cover his face for most of the movie.
And he ran the gamut too, because he was having that multiple personality thing, and so we got to see his range there a little bit.
Yeah,
good point.
His performance was like Clark Kent and Christopher Reeves, Clark Kent and Superman.
Yeah,
when Christopher Reeves was Clark Kent, he was Clark Kent. But when he was Superman, he was about 6 inches taller.
But I think it only works for a guy like Willem Dafoe because his face is so unique. And so when you relate it to something as you look at his face and it's almost evil, as it were. I don't mean to, and that's a good thing because the characters that he plays, he doesn't need the mask. So I wasn't offended that he wasn't wearing the Green Goblin mask. I think it actually added to the character and the mystique of his character, I think.
Yeah, I thought that his arc was great. I thought that Alfred Molina did a great job as Doc Ock. We got to see a good Doc Ock again, not like good performance-wise, but he became a good guy. And I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
I think that Jamie Foxx had a little bit more material to work with than he did in Amazing Spider-Man 2. And they made him kind of like he was a real cheesy, corny villain in that movie, and I felt like he punctuated a lot of those scenes.
The one that was undercut the most, of course, was Sandman.
Yeah, but Sandman's kind of a one-note guy.
He wasn't really there to be a villain either, because
he was.
Good point.
Him and Spider-Man made peace in their world, so he didn't show up as a menace.
Yeah,
true.
I really appreciate the way he was played. I know he didn't go on any great journey during the movie, but I enjoyed his acting in the first one too. So
I swear,
he has the same arc as Ant-Man.
Yeah. Every time I see him, I always see Thomas Hayden Church, and I always think he's wearing a red hat and saying, talking as Lowell from Wings. Every time I see him, it's crazy.
God, so do I.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Like every time I see him,
it's not
like,
good. Every time I see him, I think of that guy, and I can't see him as anything else.
I can't unsee him. The only time I ever not seen him is in Sideways.
Imagine if Sandman is on screen and all of a sudden Craig T. Nelson walks on. Or who's the guy on Wings?
Why would that be?
All of a sudden, it's Tim Daly walking on. Hey, Lowell. Oh, God. It's hilarious. Todd,
I'm trying to figure out the Craig T. Nelson connection.
Wasn't he on Coach?
Yes. No, that was not. That was not him. That was.
Not Thomas Hayden Church.
That was not Thomas Hayden Church.
Who was the dumb guy on Coach?
Craig Farr. He's the voice of. He's the voice of Patrick on SpongeBob.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I mixed them up.
I was like,
what? I thought he was the dumb guy on Coach.
You white guys all look the same to you, huh? Alika?
Big dumb white guys, kind of sometimes. Wasn't he on Cheers? What's Woody?
No, that was not him.
Oh, who played Woody? Failing at the name here. Woody.
Shut up! You're so stupid. So Todd, your complaints about the film are just as like ours. Now, is there anything you liked? Is there anything you enjoyed about the film?
I mean, as a casual fan, I think that I really enjoyed all the fan service. I mean, I just kind of have to sort of stop being critical of these films and just enjoy them as a fan, because I'm never going.
I thought you liked Spider-Man because of how Todd McFarlane drew him.
Not particularly. I missed the boat on that. Like, I was already, I was an Image guy, and he was already at Image by the time I started collecting those comics.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So I went back and bought some of those Spider-Man books, but I never got them when they were coming out. The only Spider-Man comics that I got when I was growing up were the Clone Wars saga with Ben Reilly and Peter Parker and all that stuff.
And now, Todd,
classic series.
Yeah. Todd,
well, it's basically it's the same storyline where you're gonna have a bunch of Peter Parkers.
Todd, let me ask you this: where do you think the film failed, and what do you think it got? What do you think it should have done better? What was it setting up that you thought it was going to go to?
Yeah, I thought that there was going to be some more interesting character moments. The thing it failed the moment that it said. I said this last time we were talking about Far From Home, is that the movie Tom Holland's Spider-Man never gets a chance to really do anything on his own. He's being, and so like now his superhero coach is Doctor Strange. I think that the two things that were like really terrible about this movie was that Doctor Strange, like, he was like, oh, you know what? I'm like the Sorcerer Supreme, but I'm going to get a bunch of teenagers with Google to find these interdimensional characters.
He literally told them to Scooby-Doo this shit.
Yeah. I think that was just like,
I want to know.
Come on, man. You can't do anything better.
You know what? That goes back to, I think that goes back exactly to Cynthia's point about Doctor Strange being strange.
Yeah.
Because, and I think that maybe, are they setting up the fact that this is the Doctor Strange from the multiverse, maybe? Like he is the evil Doctor Strange. He's only disguising himself as Strange, maybe?
Well, no, that's not possible because they showed that guy at the end of the second trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but what I'm saying is that
guy has messier hair. That's how you can tell he's evil.
Oh,
yeah, it's like Spock with a beard,
Yeah. It could have happened. It could have happened during the blip. He disappears into.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. And the fact that Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme because Strange blipped out, maybe the Strange that blipped back in wasn't the Strange that we know. Is it possible? It's possible.
I think it's the only way to explain it. He's just such a different guy.
Yeah, he is. He's totally different. The thing that bothered me about that was just what you said, Cynthia. Like, I didn't like the wink to the camera thing was really weird, and how he had asked the team, he had asked Spider-Man's friends to get this thing done. It was weird. Well,
it wouldn't be the first time that they switched characters on us because Nick Fury wasn't really Nick Fury.
Right, and they did touch on that in this.
I got it. Doctor Strange is Mephisto.
God, everyone's Mephisto. And I think that Richard in the chat had a good point. It's not Doctor Strange's movie. So, we are focusing a lot on it.
That is a good point,
to move the plot along. But at the same time, I feel like the MCU is pretty damn good at staying, making the characters make sense to who they are.
Exactly. You can't make a guy like Strange disappear for half the movie when and he conveniently shows up when you need him to.
And every time on screen, it makes no sense.
Right.
The other thing is that everybody was looking at this we're going to get 3 Spider-Man. And then I was thinking, we'll finally get the Sinister 6. But what we actually got was the Sinister 5. They didn't bring in the 6th guy.
Well, to be fair, can I spoil something?
A perfect use of getting that 6th guy in there for the finale would be to bring back the Vulture. Like, those guys disappear and they run away. They're
he's
building their costumes or something.
To, Michael Morbius Dracula guy.
Right. You got to remember, we're in Tom Holland's Spider-Man's universe. So whatever befell Vulture in that universe still stands true.
Right.
That's
right.
So what I'm saying is, instead of having them disappear and then you have all of this, you could tack on another 10 or 15 minutes to the movie where the Sinister 5 go break out Vulture.
Are you arguing in favor of them stuffing this movie even more full? Is that what I'm hearing, Todd?
They never gave us the Sinister 6, and people were saying, "Wow, they got really close," and I'm like, "Okay, but they didn't do it."
But here, may I add this in? And this is where I think that I don't know if this was a MacGuffin or they're throwing us off. But when Ned says to Peter, "I will never be what was it? I'll never do anything to hurt you, or I will never be a supervillain."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
right.
Automatically
right.
That's it's gonna happen.
Right. So I mean, is it possible they're setting him up to be a villain? Are they setting him up to be Hobgoblin? Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, more
Ned
a director,
the Hobgoblin.
He can
Spoilers for people who haven't read a comic in their life. Ned Leeds is the Hobgoblin.
Right, but the MCU changes shit all the time.
Sure,
that's a good point too.
But obviously, I think we're complaining that he could do magic when he first touched the thing. They're obviously like stumbling very clumsily into the Ned Leeds being Hobgoblin thing.
Right now, I will say that did bug me, the way he could just take the sling ring and do whatever the frick he wanted with it, but that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. I can't.
There's magic in his family. His Lola said so.
This Lola said so.
I think Todd's still giving his review, guys.
Yeah, I think you might be right, Todd. Anything else you'd like to add before I cut you off?
I mean,
sorry, Todd. I tried to look out for you, man.
Thanks, man. I think this movie was fun. I'm not going to say that it wasn't a good experience if you're a fan of these films. I think people should go see it. I'm not 100% sure that it was told a very cohesive story. I think that I feel like it was kind of haphazardly put together. And I think that it would be great. I think the next movie is going to be probably pretty good with Tom Holland because it's going to be his first standalone flick. But now, he's been saying in a lot of interviews that, like, if he's over 30 and he's still in these Spider-Man movies, something's gone wrong. But he just signed on to do 3 new movies.
I agree. He did.
So he's going to be in these movies until after he's 30.
I think that he is going to be. I think they're going to get these movies out more rapid fire than anything. Richard in the chat brings up an interesting point. The movie is literally a clean slate, so both Sony and Disney can do whatever different things they both want for the film franchise. That is true.
Right. Even with Venom.
Correct. And as Phormat spoiler, we do see in the mid-scene credit scene, we do see Tom Hardy in this movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I don't know. For some reason, that feels like the most boring part of this whole thing.
There's your Sinister Six, by the way. That's your Sinister Six.
That doesn't count, man. He was not punching Mexico.
No, dude.
That part bothered me the most because
I agree.
Because Tom Hardy and the symbiote together are sitting at the bar, right? And the moment that Strange hits the spell and they vanish to the next universe, how does one drop of the symbiote stay behind in Tom Holland's universe?
I agree.
I think it's because Tom pulled him back into his universe, and that the symbiote on its own, since it's an alien, maybe wasn't susceptible to it, and maybe would have stayed itself if it wasn't attached to him.
You think so? Tom Hardy is considered the person who knows him, and the symbiote wasn't what got warped back.
That would actually kind of make more sense than what it felt like when we saw it on screen.
Just the way that they explained it is like everybody did this magic moment where they're beamed back to the universe. You would think that even if the drop of symbiote on the bar wasn't attached to him, he would still get beamed back to
How are they going to keep Venom in the MCU?
Right. And I think that was more or less what they were trying to accomplish here, was to say that Venom is in the MCU. And they did that.
But also, what about Electro never knowing Andrew Garfield?
Yeah. That's
Andrew Garfield,
that's a bigger problem. Never knowing that he was Peter Parker.
Maybe at the end of that movie where he's tying into the internet and all that and becoming pure energy, he finds it somewhere online.
Oh, he was just Google searching?
Yeah.
Oh, back when he was the dubstep monster?
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
That was actually pretty dope, man. When he would show up and he'd be like, "Bong."
And he played the Spider-Man theme.
They also made it a point to mention multiple times how that version of Electro got his powers.
Right.
Like they kept saying, "And I fell into a vat of electric eels," as like, and every time they said it, I would be like, "Why do you keep saying it?"
Once again, the way they tried to, the way Spider-Man or Peter Parker tried to find these villains was sloppy. The way this whole thing ended up, and to be fair to the storytelling, it would be sloppy because he's the one that's doing it, right? Because he's a teenager doing it with these other two teenage kids, and that makes sense, right?
Yeah, but he's also doing it with one of the greatest magicians in the multiverse.
I know, so, I understand that.
You can't like he couldn't do it like a spell and be like, okay, they're all the 44th and 6th Avenue. Go get
100. I agree with you. 100%.
Use his damn ring and do the thing.
Yeah. Right, and do the thing, and this is where they are, and that's where you need to go. I agree with you, Todd. 100%.
You know what I never understood with him being such a powerful, and this is just based off of the trailer, so forgive me if something in the movie actually explained it. But like it seems to me like when Pete goes to see Stephen Strange and explains his problem, like, why didn't Dr. Strange just be like, hey, it seems like your whole issue is one guy. So how about I cast a spell that sets him aside and then we're good?
Now,
like, why does he have to alter all of...
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense because the only way it makes sense is because... And Phormat, this is going to make sense to you once you see it, and I'm going to spoil something for you. The reason why that spell that you see in the trailers makes sense is because it sets up for the spell that he does at the end of the movie. That's all it is. That's all it is. So he makes this spell that that's completely unstable because of Peter, and he has to keep it in this box, and this box is the only thing keeping it. This box is keeping the spell under wraps, and the only thing that is keeping the multiverse from shattering wide open. So by the end of the film, Strange has to, once he's out of the mirror, the mirror universe, he comes out and has to cast another spell, okay, to close the.
Well, I have an idea then.
Right.
So
what's that?
In the No Way Home, when you know how everybody's concerned about Doctor Strange leaving for a large amount of time, what if Multiverse of Madness happens during No Way Home?
Now, I thought about that. If that is the case, then I would be totally in for it. That would make sense. But
like,
can
he's
I say
like,
this?
You guys go Scooby-Doo this, and I'm gonna go grab Wanda, and we're gonna try to fix this.
No, but he ended up in the mirror universe unintentionally because of Peter. And when he comes out of the mirror universe, he says that he had been hanging from the Grand Canyon for 12 hours. So I understand what you're saying.
Stuffing my not seeing the movie in my face.
I know.
That's great.
I know. I hate to do it to you.
I really do. Format, whether you're covered or not, it's not going to make any sense because
it's true.
I'm trying to give you guys ways out here.
No, you are. You're giving us good ways out.
Because those like no Format stupid.
They make. But you see, what you're saying, Format, makes more sense than what the movie did. That's the point. What you're saying makes more sense than what the movie did. That's the problem. And like I said, it's not, and I think overall, I'm not saying the movie's bad because it was the most fun. It's the most fun Spider-Man movie that I've seen. It was a lot of fun.
Said that.
I just don't think that it's as cohesive as Homecoming. Unfortunately, I don't think it's as cohesive as Far From Home was. Although I think that I had a better time watching No Way Home than Far From Home.
Far From No.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Todd.
No. What about but your favorite one is Homecoming, right?
In the Tom Holland Spider-Man, yes. Homecoming's my favorite.
Okay.
No doubt. But once again, the best representation of the characters was in No Way Home. Zendaya's MJ was great. Oh, and by the way, spoiler, no one talks about it. No one's really talked about it at all. MJ reveals in the movie that her name is not just Michelle Jones, it's Michelle Jones Watson. So I was right.
Of course it is.
Yes. So I don't know what the hell that means. I don't.
So now she's officially MJ?
I guess. I don't know. So we finally realized.
Yes.
Yeah.
How could you say I don't know to that? Clearly.
No, because we don't know what the hell she's gonna. We don't know who
the
the.
Watson. That's. I mean, she's been Tom Holland's girlfriend the whole time.
But she said, "Don't call me that." That's what she said. Remember, don't call me that.
I guess,
remember?
Yeah, I guess that.
I don't know.
Away then.
Yeah, I guess.
I just remember when they first showed Zendaya and hinted to her being MJ, a lot of people were up in arms, but a lot of people did come to, not the rescue necessarily, but they did back that character in saying that she's a whole new character. So now she's not.
Bingo.
Well,
Correct.
I mean, she might be. They might not. She might not be in the next trilogy.
If she starts calling Peter Tiger, I'm out.
Somebody else called Peter Tiger. Someone
they
else called
did.
Peter Tiger, but not her.
Yeah.
That's true. That did happen.
Well, I wouldn't know. I didn't see the.
Yeah. Well.
Thanks for keep shoving that in my face.
Well, hey.
Again, I'm sorry.
Format. I'm like,
I know. It's my bad.
Just saying.
Well,
I
just
know. Went and seen it.
I have to say that you got to remember that we're being overly, and this is for everybody listening and watching. We're being incredibly overly critical of a movie that seems to have the general audience's approval. They really liked it.
It sounds like
so.
It sounds like it until you guys talk.
Well,
Right.
I mean, come on. I mean, Dr. Strange made a spell because some kids couldn't get into MIT. Who gives a shit? Like,
That's
right.
what?
And the worst part. And the worst part is when this world altering spell starts getting a little weird, he doesn't stop. He doesn't say, "Hey, let's talk about this for a minute before I do this." He's like, "Oh, it's getting a little wonky now."
That's why I was like, "This can't be right. This can't be right. Something's gonna come at the end."
The whole point behind the spell.
So what happened was
they couldn't get into MIT.
The point was
Peter and his two friends couldn't get into MIT, and they're really sad. And Peter's like, "Wah."
Oh my
the
God,
most popular alumni from MIT, Pepper Potts, couldn't just pull some strings.
Yeah, you figure.
Exactly.
Oh, well,
Like, he didn't
hold
even
on.
try.
This is going to make you even more mad. After the multiverse cracks open, Peter goes and talks to the MIT lady and gets them a second chance to getting in.
Right.
Well, that's before he realized the multiverse was cracking.
Because here's the thing: is that
It
the
was
reason
right
why
as he realized the multiverse.
you got to remember Peter Parker's being incredibly Peter Parker in the fact that he realizes that now that everyone knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, it's ruining his two friends' lives. So he's trying to correct the wrong that he did, and then he realizes that he can't do it because of he tried to do it and didn't realize in the process that when he went to.
I mean, you have to realize, saying it out loud, that it sounds like the plot of a 1960s sitcom.
It does. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, something I did wrong is affecting my friends negatively. I better take it upon myself to fix it and really mess things up.
Right.
Wah, wah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So he goes to visit this MIT lady. He goes to this MIT lady after he visits Doctor Strange, and unfortunately for him, the multiverse is already opened. So now he has to fix that. So he feels like he has to fix what's going on.
I don't see what the problem is. If anything, he just gave them more options. Now he can go to MIT in a different universe.
I almost want to tell you what that spell at the end of the movie is, Phormat. But do you want me to tell you, or do you want me to save it? Because I can do it. Okay. I'll save it. All I know.
No, you can say it. I just. You know what I mean? Like, there's people in the chat that are like screaming right now.
Oh, that's true.
So,
Richard says, I think Strange being weird is his ego. I think that kind of is as well. Thanks for bickering with Juan, which is why he wants to do the spell. I do think Strange is a little sour about the fact that he's not the Sorcerer Supreme. I will admit that. But yeah. So, but I don't know if Strange would be that irresponsible, or what felt like him being irresponsible.
Yeah.
Mister,
I'm going to go through a bajillion different scenarios to,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, what?
Right. Yeah,
like,
right.
Even check to see if this kid checked with him.
The guy who literally went through a billion different scenarios for Endgame couldn't do this, which was weird.
It doesn't feel right. I feel like it's going to be explained because I'm
the same guy also went and like absorbed a billion different entities to bring back the love of his life.
Right.
Yes, and also no, because this Strange didn't do that.
Right.
It did and he didn't. Because he was halved.
Well,
the
ultimately,
ancient one halved him.
This movie had a lot of plot holes in it that I think need to be explained. I think a lot of people were happy.
No, but here's
I think you guys are reading way too much into it.
We kind of are, but you'll understand it.
Here's the beauty of the MCU is that anything that can possibly be perceived as a plot hole will be a plot point in a future movie. Like,
bingo. Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Disney has figured out that formula. Like, a plot hole in Star Wars became the entire Rogue One movie. Like, they can...
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for them to do more stuff and sell more crap, you know? So it's like...
Right. No,
100%. Plot hole.
Yeah.
It was the opening crawl.
Yeah, they shot the opening crawl. That's what they did. They shot the opening crawl of Star Wars with Rogue One. You're right. I will say this. I think Alika, you are correct. I think that's exactly what's happening here. I do think, though, I think people are so happy to get a Spider-Man movie or a Marvel movie that they're familiar with that they embrace this one more so than Eternals and more so than Shang-Chi. And so I think this was something that...
I don't think the Shang-Chi comparison is apt.
Well,
but I'll buy the Eternals comparison because the Eternals didn't really feel much like an MCU movie at all. And
no,
Shang-Chi was kind of removed, but I think that was... I would compare Shang-Chi closer to Black Panther than... I think Eternals is off in a field somewhere by itself.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to disparage Shang-Chi. What I am saying, though, is that...
I think you are.
I no, I'm not. What I'm saying is, though, I mean, when it comes to people actually watching it and spending the money, people didn't spend the money to see the Eternals. Shang-Chi barely made its money back, barely. But this one is breaking all records. And you got to remember, this is not an MC. This is technically not an MCU. This is not a Disney Marvel movie. This is a Marvel Sony movie. So in that respect, like I said, for all of the faults of
Spider-Man movie,
all of the faults of this film, regardless of what you think, in that respect, I do believe, regardless of the faults of this film,
has a point there.
No Way Home was a very fun movie to watch, even with the plot holes that currently exist. And I thought that the standout performance came from two people. One was Zendaya, who I thought was the best version of MJ she's ever been in any of the three movies she's been in. And I think Andrew Garfield was fantastic. So,
Andrew Garfield, that's not a surprise because Andrew Garfield was fantastic in both Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. And he had an amazing chemistry with Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, yeah.
And they had great banter. They had great dialogue. They delivered their dialogue and with such,
panache.
Well, we can say that, but there's no reason. I think that those movies got a bad rap mostly because a lot of people, like casual Marvel fans, were just like, "What? They're gonna kill Gwen Stacy? Unacceptable!" And she always dies.
The first Amazing Spider-Man is still my favorite Spider-Man. I think it's better than any of the Tobey Maguire movies. I know it's sacrilege, but I think
Amazing Spider-Man 2 is pretty good though.
I think
just Spider-Man 2 is pretty good with Doc Ock.
Oh no, it is. I agree. It's up there. I think the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is weak, but Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, the first movie was an A+ movie for me. I thought it was fantastic.
It's good until he starts skateboarding.
Hey, listen. I liked him skateboarding. I like Andrew Garfield talking on the cell phone while he's on top of these buildings, talking to his aunt.
Miles Morales skateboards.
Yeah, but Peter Parker doesn't.
It's a good point. I agree.
If you want to lean on the comics so much.
I agree. I agree with that. I do agree with that. But I will say that they were going for the.
Probably does.
To be fair, Andrew Garfield was our very first emo Spider-Man per se, like I said earlier. But
did you not see the third Raimi movie?
Yeah. You keep saying that. Like
the third Raimi movie, Tobey Maguire was pretty emo.
Yeah, it's a good.
He had like the hair.
Yeah,
he could sing and he could probably sing and take you back my yellow Sunday or something.
Now, here's I guess my final question before we wrap up reviews. After watching this film and after seeing all three Spider-Men in this movie, who do you think is the best Spider-Man that we've had so far?
Andrew Garfield.
Donald Glover.
Incorrect.
Donald Glover was could have been a villain, maybe.
Could have been.
Holland.
I agree with Cynthia. I still think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. I think that Andrew Garfield gives the best performance, but I think all around Tom Holland is the better Spider-Man. So I think
I want to believe that if I could just get a movie where it's just him doing Spider-Man stuff, But like he's never got like we had Homecoming, and arguably probably the best MCU villain for sure, but that was basically Iron Man 5, and then we had the
4 Iron Man 4,
and then we had No, Civil War was Iron Man 4.
All right, fair. Fine.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. I'll let that go.
I count. And then, he didn't, it was the same thing. He was sort of piggybacking off of Iron Man in the next one when he was.
Nicholas Hammond is the best Spider-Man, according to Richard in the chat. I do agree. Nicholas Hammond was the Spider-Man that I grew up with.
Oh, man. Deep dive.
That was a deep cut. I grew up with him. I used to watch his movies. Yeah, where he fought drug dealers and robbers and stuff.
I think better than the Hammond Spider-Man, Spider-Man would have been a great. The Emissary of Hell. Come on now.
Right, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's Spider-Man. You would pull 0 punches.
Yeah, Japanese Spider-Man would have been pretty awesome.
They should have had him. They should have had those guys in.
They should have had Leo Paladon on the mech show up at the end. I would have crapped my pants.
The Spider Mech.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
Leo Paladon, yeah.
I gotta say, getting back to the point, I think Spider-Man No Way Home serves its purpose. It gets us to the next MCU movie in a sloppy fashion, regardless, but probably the most fun in the movie theater you'll have this year. Not the best movie, just fun. So that's my takeaway from Spider-Man No Way Home. Now that he's signed on for 3 more, I think that we will see a more independent Spider-Man. Remember, here's my estimation, and I could be wrong about this, but I think they're setting up Peter Parker to become the leader of the new Avengers. That's what I think. I think Peter Parker.
What if they're setting up Peter Parker to become the leader of the Sinister Six? That's why there was only 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's several other Spider-Mans to go after now, so it could happen.
Matter of fact,
I'm more interested in seeing another Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie than I am.
I was just about to say, didn't I see there was a news story saying that they were petitioning? There's a petition out for Amazing Spider-Man #3 with Andrew Garfield.
Then I just
change.org.
I saw also a fan theory that the current Venom, who's playing the
Tom Hardy
is actually in Garfield's universe. That he's actually from Garfield's universe, and that if they do a third Spider-Man movie, it'll be Tom Hardy's Venom versus versus Andrew Garfield, which I would be okay with. That would be a fun.
I would be okay with that too, actually.
The banter would be next level.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could do. I mean, and then they could do. We could find out about it at the end of the. Well, we can't now. Never mind. Because the Morbius movie is in the Tom Holland universe.
Right. I guess the question is that are we saturating the market if we get more than one Spider-Man in the movie theater?
Well, now that we're in the multiverse, we're gonna. If they don't do it this year or the next, it's gonna start happening. Like it's kind of like a cat in the bag kind of thing. You can't stuff it back down. Like this multiverse thing is gonna keep splintering, and then you will have parallel movies happening at the same time.
Right. Well, what I want to know is if Peter Parker was forgotten in all the other universes too.
Mm.
Also, I want to know if he has he got an apartment. Does he still have a social security number? Like, is he not wiped from computers? Like, how did that spell work exactly?
There's still copies of Flash's book.
What they didn't show is his sugar mama who's taking care of him.
Can I say that? I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot it. How in the world are they going to forget Peter Parker exists when social media still exists? Did Strange happen to spell out all social media? Did his spell get social media as well?
No, maybe it's the type of thing where they watch it and they just kind of don't absorb it because of the spell. But at the same time, it's like that's a huge plot hole. Like that's huge. Also, huge. Like it's Strange gonna have to remember that he did this damn spell in the next movie, probably. Like he's gonna be like, "Why'd I do that?"
Right. I mean, does that honestly mean Strange forgets?
He seemed pretty broken up about it, you know? Oh, I'm going to miss you. Call me Steven.
Call me Steven. I think that the real tell is going to be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I think that this catapults it. Do I think Tom Holland shows up in the Multiverse of Madness? Maybe. It's possible. But once again, I really that was another thing. Richard says in the chat too. He says something really simple. It's magic. I love the fact that great. I love the
suspension of disbelief. I get it.
I do.
I love it.
I know, but you know what's funny is that I love the way the other two Spider-Men address it. when he talks about Doctor Strange and magic, and I think it was Andrew. I think he said, "There's magic? What? That's cool.
You guys got magic too?
The Avengers? You had a band?
What? You had a band? Like, oh my god, so good.
I guess that makes sense because they don't have anybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
no, they don't.
Knows how to work as a team. Yeah,
that's correct.
Well, Sony had all the Spider-Man characters.
All right.
But there's as far as like the Raimi movies and the Amazing series, like he's got no one else. It's just Spider-Man, right?
They do kind of reference, but they kind of reference what happens after they kill these villains,
right?
So
because they are older versions of themselves.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. Hey, listen, they also do address the organic web shooters versus the invented web shooters, which I thought
Andrew Garfield is so disgusted with Tobey Maguire's organic web shooters.
Oh my god, it touched me.
Yeah, he touched the web and he's like, ew.
Oh my god, I got it on me.
So good. So
does it come out of anywhere else?
And anywhere else?
That was a god question.
Do you have spinnerets above your prism?
Above your It was that's the stuff that makes the movie so much fun. Really enjoyable. So I will say overall, before we end this bad boy, Cynthia, I'm gonna go to you. On a scale of 1 to 5 stars,
before you guys start rating, can I ask this?
Sure.
So who dies? Because I have a feeling
with great power comes
would
great
need something important
responsibility
to happen, right? So
what's your guess?
Who's dead in this? Huh?
What's your guess for who dies?
Happy.
I wish.
Right? It's worse. It's
worse
much
than that.
worse.
It's way worse
word?
than that. It's way worse than that.
Oh.
They actually have Uncle Ben come back. He comes into it, and then they fucking...
Then he dies again.
And as Uncle Ben's walking through the portal, one of the Peters just claw hammers him right in the forehead.
I need this.
So
I figure an important movie like this, someone's probably gonna have to die, right? So
yeah.
Who do you think? Who do you think died to make the male character really find his fucking voice and find who he was and make him
You can tell
persevere?
how angry Sin is.
So not happy.
Not a guy that died.
Oh.
Let it be happy, damn it.
So in every other universe,
MJ is still around.
Right, but in every universe that we've seen so far with Andrew and Toby, the death that meant the most to him to turn him into Spider-Man was Uncle Ben.
Right.
So what other death could possibly
Gwen Stacy?
And to be fair, I'm not mad that it wasn't.
Finds that universe as Gwen Stacy and snaps her neck and goes, "If I can't help you,
this has to happen.
This has to happen."
No, what was that, Cynthia? What were you gonna say?
Oh, to be fair, it's that I'm not mad that a dude doesn't die. I'm mad that it's the same cliche over and over again. Like, she didn't die for no reason. She died to make you better, to give you purpose. Fuck you.
Hey,
you couldn't have figured that. You couldn't have figured that out without someone very close to you dying.
To be fair, when we hear the phrase "with great power comes great responsibility,"
you misspoke, G.
Oh, sorry.
With great power, there must come great responsibility.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That statement has been edited for your pleasure.
Has been edited. That's right.
But it's just also to push her narrative of you have to help everyone, even these dumb shits that you could have just sent back to die. I mean, these other spider dudes killed them. I mean,
but
like, and they're fine with it. Like, why, you know?
I think it's okay because that's who Peter is, and I think it's okay.
But not the other Peters. The other Peters did it.
You know, she spent a long time dying, so it'd be funny if right before she died, it's like, it's a good thing there's absolutely no way my death could have been avoided. I love you, Peter.
Was it Aunt May?
It was Aunt May.
Holy crap. Why? That seems so pointless to me.
Exactly.
Well, it seems kind of pointless to us, too.
It does.
Yeah. But very impactful because we all love Marissa Tomei so very much.
It only
love her dying.
It only makes sense in the respect that it mirrors what happened in the other universes. A tragedy is what spawns his feelings very late. Because
well, it sounds like we're winding up. So the one thing I'm going to say that I absolutely loved, because I am the costume guy, is the final scene where he busts out the bright blue and red homespun regular sewing machine cloth Spider-Man suit. That
they did. They gave you 90s X-Men too in the last 5 seconds.
Where was the 90s X-Men? I missed that. What?
No. I mean, in the First Class movie, or not?
No, they didn't. That was garbage. That was nowhere near 90s X-Men. I know that might have looked like 90s X-Men compared to the rest of the Bryan Singer garbage, but if you saw that, absent of that, and you saw it, you'd be like, "This is still Bryan Singer-esque garbage."
Hey, First Class is a great film. Stop it.
It's a good film.
It wasn't First Class. It was the prequel. That where you got to see the.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
And you get like 5 minutes of their classic 90s but like
they weren't really that close. The costumes weren't that close. They were like similar a little bit. But the last Spider-Man costume in the movie, that was like awesome. That was like amazing.
Well, he had to get a new costume because Aunt May's not around to clean it for him anymore.
Yeah, there's no Aunt May. There's no Tony Stark.
First of all, he's got a girlfriend. Oh no, he does.
No,
he
doesn't have a girlfriend.
He doesn't have a girlfriend.
He works at a donut shop in his north.
Him and a sewing machine.
Oh, that's right.
Knit his own damn sweater. Make his own damn
knit
sandwich.
his own stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. He doesn't. Dang gummit, man. You're right. So anyway, Cynthia, getting back to you.
Go back to Doctor Strange and be like, "Hey, can you do a magic? I need a new
Doctor
suit."
Strange wouldn't know who he was.
Doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, but Doctor Strange isn't the Sorcerer Supreme, so he'd just be like, "Sure, whatever, bud."
Yeah, see, Richard brings it up again.
I'm just doling out,
and he's absolutely right. Total clean slate. This is we are on a new level. This is it.
I am excited to see that Spider-Man movie with him by himself
in the crap apartment with the scanner and the.
Yeah, that would be at least one movie of that, or at least half of the first movie back. I don't know.
Right.
Marvel can't control themselves, so they're going to start inserting all this cosmic craziness as soon as
how long do you think before MJ gets her memory back?
I don't.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
The foreshadowing's already there. It's going to happen, but I don't know. Maybe it'll take at least the whole first movie. It'll probably be the big turn in the first movie.
You know what? Really? I'm sorry, Cynthia. I keep saying go ahead and do that, but I just remembered something. For the first time in this Spider-Man series, in this film, they really focus in on the spider sense. But I didn't like the way they portrayed it. You know, was that just me, or I didn't like?
Was there no spider sense before Tobey Maguire got stabbed? I mean, nothing.
Thank you. That's what I mean. Like, I didn't like
the arm hair thing again.
No, they didn't.
I think they all had so much spider sense that there was interference.
Is that what it was?
Wow.
No. Essentially, what they do is Tom Holland is in the room with all of the villains, and all of a sudden the camera literally like does a close-up on his face, and they do that thing where the room turns but his face doesn't.
Oh, okay.
And and they do it in slow-mo, and as we all know, if you read the comics, spider sense is it's like this, right? So they slowed it down.
It's tingling at the base of the neck.
Right. So they slowed it down for us to realize that, his spider sense is kicking in. And I'm like, okay, I didn't like the way it was portrayed, but I guess that for people that didn't know how the spider sense
like the weed scenes from that 70s show.
Pretty much.
Oh,
where they just rotate through the screen.
But the way they framed that scene worked for the dramatic effect.
Yes, it did. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm fair. That's fair. I agree.
It worked with the moment.
Yeah. Richard brings up a good point. At the end, MJ is wearing the broken necklace at the end of the movie, which she is.
That something about her remembers and clings to that. So
and she said that if she finds out, he doesn't tell her.
I'm going to figure it out again. I'm going to figure it out.
The foreshadowing moment is she, even not knowing, will somehow herself come back to that love or something.
To be honest, you know what I thought was actually going to happen by then? I thought that Ned and her had hooked up.
Oh, I thought that too.
You know, that would be great if, like, as Peter Parker, before he introduces him to themselves again, just watches them kiss each other, and then he punches Ned through a wall.
Yeah,
and that's Ned's villain turn right there.
That's his villain turn. Right
He's like, "I'm magic."
Magic.
Oh,
I'm magic, and I'm gonna do a magic.
I'm gonna do a magic trick. Oh yes, and that's exactly what it's.
The movie.
Yeah, Richard's right. True love's kiss is what's gonna break the spell. Cynthia, you're good for that, right?
It's really a Disney movie. It's totally a
Disney movie. Yes.
Oh, that is so awesome. Because who wouldn't remember a kiss from a prince like Peter Parker?
Short king.
Is a prince now?
Short king, sir.
All right, Cynthia. What was your take on the movie? And on a scale of 1 to 5 stars, where would you put this?
Super fun. They better make sense of it later. And
amen.
Because of how fun it was, I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Ooh, 3.5 stars. Nice. Alika, where do you put this in your pantheon?
5 stars. Got the blue suit, man. You got to give it 5 stars.
You know, they gave me everything I wanted, and maybe put a little too much sugar on top.
they gave you Lobster Johnson as Sandman.
Yeah, if he asked in the middle of that movie if I wanted to see his claw, then it would have been a 5-star movie.
Wow.
I'm gonna reserve that last half a star, so it's 4.5 for me.
Wow. Todd Bernardi, I have a feeling what you're gonna say, but you go ahead. Where would you put this on 1 to 5?
as many problems as I have with the flick on a story level. It was fun. So I'm gonna give it an extra half star, and I'll give it 2.5 stars.
Shut your mouth! Unbelievable. Yeah. I am going to give. Kai, what would you give it? Where would you put this thing?
He's not there.
I'm here.
If you minus the company that you were with in the film, and other than being with me, giving it 5 stars, I know that that's what you want to do. But if you didn't factor in the company that you were with, what would you give just the movie?
4.
Man.
4. Wow.
Look,
Wow,
you guys break things down, and you guys more articulate with all this stuff. But I just wanted to sit down and enjoy a movie. And
and that's totally fair.
That's fair,
Totally
Kai.
fair.
We laughed together, Kai.
Especially
we cried
after
together.
this year and this last year. Just
I know.
man.
I had to suffer next to this man. I'm pretty sure he farted next to me.
Hey, first of all, that never happened. All that was.
It was like some noxious gas.
No, it was not. I was pushing the button on the.
What G Money had for lunch that day?
I was pushing the button on the seat, and it makes noise when the chair thing comes up. Goodness gracious!
Sure.
Can you tell me what seat that was so I don't sit there?
It was C5. C5.
You sunk my battleship.
The only gripe I have is I gotta stop drinking too much fluids before these movies. I had to hold that sucker
Oh man, I don't allow myself to eat or drink anything hours.
This was a 2.5 hour movie. Now, to be fair, I don't think it felt 2.5 hours, but by the time you get to it, it's 2.5 hours.
Pretty long. I kept checking in with Jim Rugg was sitting next to me, and I was just like checking in with them. I was like, these guys are like trudging through this thing because they are not MCU fans. So I was just like hoping that they were still into the movie by the end.
Did you have to keep lifting your head out of his lap and check with him to make sure everything was okay? Is that how it worked?
All right, come on. That's very crass. That's inappropriate.
We got fart jokes. We got dick jokes. What else we got, guys?
I screwed up. I in the fight scene at the apartment. And I was like, oh crap! I got.
Yeah, and he had to pee, and he didn't go.
I held that sucker in.
Thank God your bladder. You're very well trained with your bladder. You did hold it up, which was great.
I hold a lot of things up.
Last but not least, I think that this movie deserves 3 stars out of 5. I think it's a good movie. It's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun, but there are obviously problems with it. I'm sure that will be fixed later. But if I'm just basing it off of this. Off of this movie, I would say it's a 3 out of 5 star movie, without a doubt. Very fun, not the best one I've seen. Tom Holland, I think, in this film solidifies his role as Spider-Man and Peter Parker, which I really liked. Overall, though, not perfect, but still a fun time, regardless. Now, Phormat. Based on all that you've heard tonight and all of the reviews.
This is my favorite part where Phormat gives a review. He's done this on another movie.
1 out of 5 stars. Where would you put Spider-Man No Way Home?
It sounds like a solid 4.
Okay.
But with all the fan service involved, I'd probably lean more towards a 5. But I won't know for certain until I actually see it.
Okay. So you're leaning towards
Get this man to a theater.
Get this man to a theater immediately.
After not securing a ticket, how do you rate Kai and G's friendship?
Okay, wait.
That's the better
I
question.
screwed up. That's my fault.
Well, Greg's definitely a power bottom.
Out of 5. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Now, Spider-Man No Way Home, definitely go see it. It was fun to actually see it with an audience, which was great because most of the time, most movie theaters here are kind of dead. There was an audience, and it was fun. Watching with an audience probably made it more fun for me. I don't know, Cynthia. Are you guys full capacity in Cali?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
okay, cool.
Yeah. It was. It was packed. I saw it. I don't know how I got tickets and then had to not go to that showing and then got tickets again. Every theater was like it was difficult to get tickets.
Right. Do you hold hope after seeing the mid-credit scene and the end credit scene? Do you hold hope that your questions will be answered?
I think they will be, and I'm super looking forward to Multiverse of Madness. I love Wanda. I love that they're bringing new characters in. I love Doctor Strange. He's one of my favorite MCU characters. I really do love him.
America Chavez.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm alluding to.
We
Yeah.
saw America Chavez in that trailer. That's gonna be incredible.
Yeah. Speaking of that, before we get off of the MCU, Hawkeye ended its run.
Did you watch it?
I did not, so don't spoil anything. But the internet has already spoiled it. I know that Kingpin already shows up.
Don't spoil anything.
Todd doesn't want us to spoil anything either, because there he goes.
Because he left. He's
gonna go watch it right now.
I think
After
that Hawkeye.
What I had to endure from No Way Home, and I can't spoil Hawkeye.
How much time we get? I'm just gonna break down the whole series for you.
Hawkeye was so far has been a lot of fun. It was definitely more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be.
So you did watch it. You just didn't watch this latest.
Yeah, I haven't. Right. So
okay.
Does it fall into this? I don't. There's a lot of criticism that I've been listening to that it falls under the quote unquote MCU universe. I really don't think that that's the case. You can make that.
I've never heard that term, and I really hope I had never heard that before in my life. I don't know. I could have lived my whole life without hearing.
Yeah, that sounds directly out of a 4chan thread.
No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not.
It is, bro. It is totally.
Eternals. I think Eternals qualifies for the MCU more than Hawkeye does.
What are you saying?
Eternals is the only
it's become very female oriented.
There's too much estrogen for G Money in the MCU.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
He wants to see more penis. He's like, sorry, America.
The C in MCU stands for cock danglius.
I like that they use the Roman name.
Right. Yeah. I really like Hawkeye. I think Haley Steinfeld is really good in the show. I think that she's far from a problem in the show. I think that she's great. She's great in the show. She could, and that's the great thing about Haley is that she could have been completely annoying, but she's not, and she's so really endearing. Good.
And I find Hawkeye endlessly annoying, and for some reason, he pulled it out of his ass. He's super endearing. The whole fucking series. Sorry, I keep swearing. It's super endearing. Like,
no, he is endearing. Because he hates himself in this movie,
and I hate him too. And I'm like, I get it.
That's why you like him now.
Yeah.
Like,
every time,
I'm like you.
Every time I see Jeremy Renner in any movie, it's so weird because all I ever think of is him being the guy. The guy. He's the guy who does he's demolition in Iraq. What the hell's the name of that movie? By Catherine Bigelow.
Oh, Zero Dark 30.
No, not Zero Dark 30. He's in the other one with Anthony Mackie. He's in it with. I can't remember. God dang it! Why can't I remember the name of that movie? Anyway, he's so super dour in that film, and he plays like he's a bomb defusal unit in the film. I can't.
Jarhead. No, it wasn't Jarhead.
No, it's not Jarhead.
Why can't we think of this movie?
I can't think of that damn movie.
Hurt Locker. Thank you.
It's Hurt Locker. So every time I think of Jeremy Renner, I think of him being that depressed every time I see him. I mean, but in this one, he's really good. I really enjoy him in this.
Fantastic.
He's probably the best version of Hawkeye in this than he's ever been in any of the movies.
Hands down.
100%. Yeah.
So good.
So
I love the fact that he's got a new partner. So if he ever needs to sacrifice a friend again, he can just.
He's got a few in the pocket now.
He's got a few in the pocket.
Throw him right off the cliff.
As long as it's not me, because I have children and I'm worth more.
That's right, and not. By the way, and not and another woman. Can you believe it? Now there's two of them in there. So.
So many ladies in it. There's a mom, and there's a daughter, and then there's a sister. I mean,
I don't want to see any of this estrogenation.
Who knew that there were lady archers in this show? Golly,
ladies doing things. Don't tell me they have lines.
Oh man, I can't believe it.
Incel.
You talk way too much. It's crazy.
She does. She makes a lot of phone calls. She's got a lot to say. So typical.
So typical. Oh my god.
Get back in the kitchen. Get back on Snapchat.
Get back. Yeah. Why can't you be like Hawkeye's wife?
I mean, my favorite part is Yelena.
I want to know.
Yeah.
She's the mac and cheese with she loves the sriracha. God, I love her.
It was kind of gross watching her eat it though, because I hate the sound of people eating, and she's just like,
Yeah,
She's the best.
I think
best.
I think Florence Pugh though is great as Yelena.
She's
I
incredible,
really
yeah.
like her.
So
She's
good.
fantastic. So I really hope that people really gravitate towards Hawkeye. I really think it's a good show, and it's super enjoyable.
It's great. I want to hear people's theories on Hawkeye's wife, but you haven't watched the damn last episode.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I
Yeah,
don't care
don't spoil it.
if she's not barefoot and pregnant, then I don't.
haven't-
She's through the whole damn MCU. What are you talking about?
I haven't.
And then he gives her a damn Rolex.
I haven't watched the last episode, but I know the chatter and the long fan theory is that she's Mockingbird.
She's Mephisto.
Mockingbird, but yes, finally.
Finally.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Because just watch the damn fucking episode.
I've read that too. I've read that she's Mockingbird.
That's been the chatter for a while that she's Mockingbird.
Well, right. I don't necessarily like her as Mockingbird. I don't know.
But doesn't make the question is whether or not you like it or not. Does it make sense?
But
that's the thing.
That's what I'm answering though, whether or not I like it, Jane.
Oh, it's fair point.
But no, I mean it totally. I mean, obviously, it makes sense.
Fair.
It
would be kind of cool
because in the first couple of episodes, she actually comes in clutch for him, so she better be somebody.
No one understands more than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good point.
I was kind of hoping that she would be the Kingpin's long lost wife. That's what I was hoping.
Man, that would be kind of cool too.
That's not to be. I don't.
Well, if Kingpin is in this universe, along with now we know that Matt Murdock's in this universe as well. Does that mean that we possibly can get Elektra?
Iron Fist. We're
Yeah,
getting some Iron Fist.
I was gonna say, man.
Give me
We're going back to
Jones before you give me Iron Fist.
That's what I'm saying. I will take Luke Cage over Iron Fist.
We're going back to Kunlun, baby. We're going back to Kunlun with the Iron Fist. All right, man.
Yeah.
Well,
which Iron Fist are we getting? Because
if the chatter is anything, well, like I said, if the chatter means anything, Destin Daniel Cretton has already said he wants Jackie Chan in the next Shang-Chi sequel. And no. What I'm saying is though, could we see Iron Fist be in the Shang-Chi series?
That's possible, but also didn't this Iron Fist like go off and do a thing? Couldn't we just get another person to be like, hey, that guy's like doing his thing. Here's another guy.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite meme right now is the one where all the MCU Netflix people are walking. It's like, and then he stops the last guy, and it's Finn from Iron Fist. It's like everybody come except for you, buddy. Well, if the Luke Cage was great, we got Charlie Cox, obviously, Jessica Jones, great, incredible, just Kristen Ritter. But then that guy.
It's so weird because. I really don't think it's the fault of the guy who played Iron Fist. I think it was the way they wrote him is the problem.
He didn't want to train.
He's got a stupid face too. He's got a stupid face.
Yeah, it's the way they really made it. The way they wrote him, by the way.
I don't know. I don't know if it's just
that he didn't want to train.
Yeah, I guess.
Like the action scenes in the first, the first season were just
no, they were awful.
Woof.
Yeah, they were definitely woof. I agree with you. Now. Listen, I know we got to wrap it up, but I want to ask you one more Marvel question. We got the reveal of the all new Punisher logo, and it's been very controversial.
It's not all new, by the way. It's going to last about 2 seconds, but the Comicsgate community is going absolutely dog shit.
Do tell.
I haven't heard about this. There is I will say that I think that new logo is pretty bad. Let me see if I can look it up, and I'll show it to you on screen.
He's going to Japan, and he's wearing armor. It's not like a new logo at all. It's going to last about 5 issues, and comic skaters are losing their absolute minds over it. It's great. I love it.
Do you now?
Yeah, I do. These people are they're going, ho, 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 ho. Punisher this, blah, 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 and it's like, shut up.
Thank God I read manga. I don't have to deal with this.
That's true. Manga's much better. Anyway. Let me share this with you. If you haven't seen it, I will share it with you right now. Bang, bingo. There it is, right there. That is the all new Punisher logo. Why
don't you show the actual image that it comes from with him standing?
Oh no! Well, I wanted to just show the logo, but I can pull that other one up as well. Give me a
Because
second.
that image
What's the
tells the
problem with
story
it?
that this is just a temporary logo.
I don't really know what the problem with. I mean, my
It
problem
looks
with
like
it
a
is that
temporary tattoo.
right.
So what is the other one?
What I don't like about
That's
the
fair,
new
yeah.
what I don't like about the new Punisher logos, I don't like the horns. I think it's weird. I don't like it. That's the thing that I don't like.
It's not
Let me
really
see.
a new logo, by the way.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can pull it up. No, but yeah, I it's you're right. But it has caused a little bit of controversy. I can't find the picture. Oh, there it is. Got it. Bingo. Got it right there. And let me share this with you as well.
If you look at the actual picture of the comic it's from, it's clear that it's just
This is a close up. This is a close.
It's not an actual new logo. It's gonna last like 5 issues.
Boom.
So what's the issue? But I don't understand what the issue is.
Because
they're changing it.
Tears are delicious.
I can't. Yeah, well, no, I'm into it. I'm into them being upset, but I want to understand why. And I guess maybe trying to find logic there is where I'm going to really mess myself
Richard
up.
says 90s tribal making a comeback.
Right?
Yeah, look like it.
Good point.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Is this Bruce Wayne? Who is this?
Yeah, it doesn't look like Frank.
This is Frank. This is Frank Castle, Punisher.
No, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
This guy looks like Bruce Wayne.
Well,
look at him in his fancy swords.
He's got 2 fancy swords. He's got 2 katanas on him right there. But yeah, that's
pads and arm guards.
I think Alika's right. I don't think this is going to be a permanent thing. To be honest with you, I don't think it is at all.
Oh man, I hope it is.
You know what? After seeing the reaction of all these,
you want it to be permanent?
I do want it to be permanent. I would love to see them run with this for 3 years and just see if any incels drive themselves into like a brick wall for no reason.
Hey,
because they're so insane with rage.
And then put a bow on it. And then make it a lady.
Yeah, and then make
it's
sure
got
that
the bow like tilted to the side.
A bone bow.
And then we're gonna have Frank Castle declare their pronouns as they them.
Yes.
And then their brains will actually pop out of their, like it'll leak out of their ears. You're gonna be like, oh.
They'll all blow up their own trucks. They won't even scrape off the stickers. They'll just blow up their trucks.
Yeah, they're gonna I'm setting the whole car on fire. Clam, I can't handle this world.
Cut off their arms with their Punisher tattoos.
Bow on the top, like a la Miss Pac-Man, or bow on the side, a la Hello Kitty?
On the side, like Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty for sure.
100%.
Yeah. See,
you drawing it right now.
You guys keep disrespecting what came before, and you wonder why people are upset, huh?
Now, you're reading it. All of your words you're reading directly from a 4chan chat. You're just like, can I read some? Send me the transcript. I'm going to read some of those angry info words. I can't stand the MCU.
God. Oh, I almost forgot about it.
You love that.
I love it.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Cynthia, make sure you use that, okay? MCU. So that's
making t-shirts.
It's so awesome. But yeah, I really think Alika's right. I don't think this is going to be a permanent thing, but
it is.
Now I'm going to tell people it's permanent with authority.
All right.
Well, he's going to Japan, so you read the comic backwards.
I want to see the vein in their neck just start throbbing. And then, like, they're just going to be like, but blue lives, wow.
You know what? We'll keep the original Punisher logo if you don't like it. That's fine.
Yeah, cops already own that thing. So
we're taking it back. We're taking it back. All right? Jeez.
You guys can name him Brandon now.
Don't make me pull out my hat, Cynthia.
I think Joe Biden should have named his new dog Brandon.
He should have.
Don't get me started on that guy. Anyway, listen. Last but not least,
he's your president. Don't disrespect your president, please.
Oh man.
How dare you?
Are you laughing because you know Trump won the election?
Yes, that's why I'm laughing.
He's really pulling the strings. I mean, Biden's been dead for a year.
Why do you think he's doing so terribly? It's
because he's a corpse.
It's all Trump.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's. They should have done it with Bernie Sanders. So.
Speaking of something that's dying.
He's your president. How dare you use my own words against me?
It's me. Speaking of something that could possibly be dying, reviews on Matrix Resurrections have not been great.
I've only watched the first half of the movie, and I can kind of see why.
Oh no!
Matrix Resurrections, of course.
Let me watch the second half to make my.
I haven't even turned it on yet, but before we get out of here, Matrix Resurrection is, of course, in theaters and on HBO Max. Matrix Resurrections is not getting good reviews at all. I've only seen a couple of good reviews, but the rest have all been kind of sour. I haven't really read them because I didn't want to spoil it. I'm very excited to see it. I love Keanu Reeves. Matter of fact, Keanu Reeves is John Wick 4 got delayed until 2023, and it's already finished, which is totally weird to me. I don't know why that's happening, but I will say that disappointing to hear. I think that this is a different vision because this is not Lana and Lily Wachowski's vision. This is just Lana's. So I think you have to go.
Well, I mean, to be fair, did you watch Sense8?
Yes, of course.
Sense8 was incredible. I think that was just Lana.
Was it? I thought it was both Wachowskis. I didn't know.
Oh,
that.
Was it? Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I didn't. You could be right. I don't remember. But like I said, I think that you have to go and you may have to go in this with different glasses because this is not written by Lana and Lily. This is written by Lana and two other writers. So I think that the expectation should be a little different. I mean, not liking it, I understand. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Hey, listen, if you love it, you love it. Whatever. So I'm concerned. Should I be concerned from the first half you've seen, Alika, for Matrix?
Huh?
Should I be concerned as a fan of the Matrix? Should I be concerned?
It's hard. I can't really say without watching the full movie because the front half is all this meta, circular, and it hasn't really gotten to where it's going, I don't think. And if it has gotten to where it's going at the middle where I'm at, then it's not a big upvote for me. But
that's a long time to get going.
Yeah, it's the front half of the movie is kind of like a slog, and it's like a recreation of a lot of original scenes from the original Matrixes too. So it's this weird meta walkthrough. But I'm hoping the end makes there's a way that could have a point.
Sure.
And so I'm waiting. I got to watch the last half to make my judgment.
Cynthia,
really.
are you a Matrix fan?
I am. I don't like the last Matrix movie, but I do.
I did not like the last.
I
Matrix
just showed the first one to my son, and man, was he excited! Oh boy!
You know what's funny? Looking back on that original Matrix film, after watching it, I really don't know if it's like an R-rated movie. You know what I mean?
It's really not, there's a ton of violence, but when it comes to it, now with games and everything, and he has an Xbox, he has a ton of games.
Yeah.
It's just not. It didn't feel like it was. I mean, there was a couple times I feel like the violence, even he was like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
But besides that, and I think that just in general, I don't know if it's just America, but most kids here are just violence. So he didn't, he was totally fine with it. But he did, he's 7, so he checked out halfway through. And then when the violence started up again, he was right in front of the TV he was in again,
happening? Yeah. It makes sense. Now, when we come back from Christmas, we'll talk about Matrix Resurrections. We will talk about other things that we've watched because also, just to let you know, if you don't know already, Witcher Season 2 is out, and that is getting rave reviews. They're saying it's very, very good, which I'm very excited to watch. I'm catching up on the first season because I never finished it.
I never saw it.
Loves me some Cavill.
Yeah, so Henry Cavill is this guy is such a dork, and let me tell you why. Because this sucker not only plays Warhammer 420 and actually paints the figures.
Did you say Warhammer 420?
420.
Did you say Warhammer 420?
Wow, sorry. I'm sorry. That's
sorry. He's a little high right now.
That's what I'm making.
Correct yourself. Don't correct yourself.
No. That's what I'm making. That's the new series I'm making.
Okay.
The Warhammer.
No, you got your target audience here.
There was a meme recently that was finally, after filming season 2 of Witcher, Henry Cavill can finally afford a 3,000 point army in Warhammer.
But not only that, this guy is talking about he wants to do like video game movies. He wants to do like the Red Dead Redemption movie. This guy is like off the charts. Like he wants to make some very cool stuff. And I more power to him, I guess. I mean, I think that it's cool to have some. I wish more geeks look like
and
him.
Joe Manganiello are two high caliber geeks that should be working together on geek stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should do a podcast.
They should.
They're too pretty for podcasting.
One's a D&D dork, the other's a Warhammer 40K dork. Yeah.
There's crossover there. Imagine if they did a campaign together. That would be pretty cool.
Listen, guys, I can't believe this. Coming in at the very end of this show, ladies and gentlemen, Gannon is in the house. Unbelievable.
Oh, hi, Gannon.
Gannon, I can't believe you're back, man. I can't believe you made it. Why the hell are you so late?
Somebody wasn't paying attention to the chat.
I heard you wanted to watch Matrix Resurrections, which we were just talking about. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, listen, we gave our thoughts on Spider-Man No Way Home. You wanted to talk about it, and you weren't even here, damn it. We can talk about it when we come back.
I did mention what I was doing.
All right, fine. Well, listen, could you give us, before we go, can you give us a quick review of Matrix Resurrections, and is it good?
Don't go.
Ooh.
That doesn't sound good.
Don't go.
Ooh.
Now, is that a don't go because you want to save it all for yourself? Or
that's you sit there wondering the whole time what's missing, and then you're like, oh, one of the Wachowskis.
Oh, dang.
Maybe the thing that makes this movie not as good as let's just say the first one is the fact that one of them didn't come back. And maybe that's why they didn't come back.
Okay.
Why? Just to prove to everyone that they're the better Wachowski?
What is this? Like the sisterly rivalry or something?
Yeah. Go ahead and make it without me.
I read a review that compared it to The Last Jedi, and I didn't want to believe it because I'm just like, maybe it's just fans being a little too reactionary. Oh, never mind.
No. She that's what Cynthia wants to know. What she said.
I don't even know what I'm talking about now.
The last she got triggered when you said when she said Force Awakens, or the Rise of Skywalker.
I lost my complete train of thought already on that.
That fast? What is wrong with you?
Because it's 420 for Gannon.
He's in the Matrix.
So wait a minute. So why is it related? So that was the criticism, that it was very much a Rey kind of Force Awakens movie. Is it?
That's not what I didn't like about it. What I don't like about it is that they have to, in order to make this story work, they had to unwrite everything we knew about the previous three movies.
Ooh.
Yes, you got a big fat jack with your car.
Gannon, are you on a motorcycle? What's going on there? Are you Batmaning around Kihei? What's happening?
No, man, check your rocket fuel, man. Jeez Louise.
You know how kids be after watching an action movie at Queen Common Center? They got to show their dicks with their big cars.
That's true. That's a good point.
That's fair. That's fair.
All right. So Matrix Resurrections was a disappointment. We're going to talk about it more when our next show, not next week, but the week after.
I mean, that's the thing. We really don't. Like.
All right.
Just watch it on HBO Max. Pay ad free.
Okay, I did. I have it.
And then watch it on HBO Max because people don't know how to shut the hell up at movie theaters anymore.
Yes. Okay. Good. I'm so glad. Now, because you didn't have a chance, Gannon, and because your good friend Todd is not here, and we already talked about it before we go, I would like to get your thoughts on No Way Home before we leave.
Oh, don't go.
Okay, that's fair. All right. So two.
Well, I mean, are we allowed to spoil it already at this point? I mean, I know it's been on for less than a week.
We already have. We were spoiling everything already. We did.
Okay, so yeah, don't go.
You didn't like it? Are you serious?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Very interesting.
I'm conflicted because a lot of the stuff that I love in it is set up on a very flimsy skeleton of a story. If is the only thing I can think of to make my point make sense.
Cynthia, me, and Todd all had the same assessment.
Like everything that's great in it is great, but in order to get there is pretty flimsy.
Yep.
I feel like there was a
100%.
more clever way to string all those things together. And one of the things that I mean, I'm surely not the first one to point this out, is like, how do they get that close to a Sinister Six and then not get a sixth? But somebody raised a great point. Nothing that happens in that movie wouldn't have happened without Mysterio. So he actually basically kind of is the sixth in the Sinister Six.
Ooh, I never thought about that.
Without him involved, none of that would have happened. So he's kind of like the Phantom member of the Sinister Six, because he's not alive for it, but it doesn't happen without him.
Interesting. I didn't think of it that way. That makes sense.
I forget where I saw somebody point out that fact, but I was like, oh, okay, well then that kind of works. Although I'm sure Sony probably has plans to still do their stupid Sinister Six movie.
All right. So overall, the assessment was it's a fun movie, very flimsy in that respect, but I still say it's probably the most fun Spider-Man movie there is, but not the best Spider-Man movie there is. Would that be fair?
I mean, this movie obviously culminates everything that's come before it, including Tom Holland's story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Andrew Garfield is trending because of this movie, and with absolute and well-deserved good reason.
He's the best thing in the movie.
The dude showed up to work.
Yep.
He could have easily just shown up, collected a check, and phoned in his part. He just oozes like charisma of the character, and he looked like he genuinely loved to be there again. And by all rights, he didn't have to. Yeah, because of the three guys that have played Spider-Man, he's the one that got the most short shrift.
Amen.
His franchise got abandoned after 2 movies. He was ditched for Holland very early on. The second film was just a mess of ideas and not much else. But those 2 movies did no service to his enthusiasm to play that character, and it 100% shows in this movie.
Yeah, and like I said earlier in the show, this actually resurrects his run as Spider-Man, and it kind of ties up loose ends for his character when he. It doesn't.
I mean, Todd has said this. It's his 3rd movie. He finally got his 3rd movie, even though it's not really his movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he got to go out strong. If this is the last time he ever got to play Spider-Man in anything, at least he went out strong with this one. You know what I mean? He didn't get that before.
Sure.
You know, neither did Tobey Maguire, arguably, but because between the 2 of them coming back, Tobey Maguire executes, but Garfield elevates.
Hey, good way to put it. I agree.
Because Maguire's there and he's charming, and you know he does what's asked of him, and you know he's doing the Peter Parker thing. He's giving you all the feels from how he used to do it.
Yeah.
But you just cannot, like, every time Garfield speaks, you're just kind of like, oh my god, I missed this guy as Spider-Man. Yeah. I didn't realize I was going to, but here I am missing him as Spider-Man.
Totally captivated by him.
My only gripe when it comes to his stuff is the moment where he saved MJ. They should have pulled the taffy on it just a little bit more, just a tiny bit more. It happens so quickly and so abruptly, and you know you could argue that it's not really his movie, but it is his movie, and you know it is his movie.
It's a Spider-Man movie. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
It's really all 3 of their movies. When you get once all 3 of them hit the movie, it's all 3 of their movies. It's about Spider-Man the character, but all these guys that have been Spider-Man. But that MJ sequence, it's like the most fan-written sequence ever, because once the trailer shows her falling, you know, tons of people were the ones to say, I'll bet you that's going to be Garfield that saves her because he failed the first time. So that scene should have played a little bit more, and it kind of does, but they don't really spend a lot of time with it, where it shows him like he's spent all of this time since that movie thinking about all the things that he should have done
Yeah.
Because he failed. The scene doesn't quite play out that way. He literally just kind of super jumps to her and catches her. I kind of wish they did something where it looked like, he really spent time thinking about like how to save her, because he's obsessed over his failure, and he didn't succeed at this time.
But to be fair, though, I think it was. I actually think I agree they should have pulled on the taffy a little more. But I think it was done perfectly in the fact that this is why Garfield is so good. He emotes so well that by the time he saves her and his feet hit the floor, and you look at his face, that sold it for me.
Oh no, I 100% agree. Like it was the right move on a writing standpoint to have him be the one to save MJ.
Yeah.
Even though it's not MJ that he failed to save, it is his MJ. He just never had an MJ in his universe.
That's right.
Or at least that we know of. He's still young enough to where they could go, I hope Sony's just like, let's go back and do Garfield movies. I think we live in a world now where you could have 2 different Spider-Man live action movies and people would go on with it.
We were talking about that. There's a petition out saying they want to see the Amazing Spider-Man 3. I'm all for it. I'm just curious if they would want to do that in the market with multiple Spider-Man. I think it's possible with the multiverse, and it might work out well for them.
I think based solely on fan reaction alone, Sony knows they can probably do it well. The difference is Marvel doesn't have to do that movie with him.
True. That's true.
Sony could just completely do that Spider-Man movie in-house, and Tom Holland stuff could stick to the MCU. Although, who knows how he fits into the MCU now, because nobody knows who the hell he is now.
True. That's a good point. What was that format you were going to say?
I mean, technically, they could have done it like without the MCU and just did it.
Yeah,
but
they could have.
They're too worried about maybe the fans are going to get confused and...
That's what I'm thinking. I agree. That's what I'm thinking.
It could have been just so easy as to just now we've got a bunch of Spider-Man movies. Potential for crossovers? I don't know.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
But now after this movie exists, I think fans would be along for the ride on that, because now that we know that it all counts, you can totally do it now, I think.
Well, that would mean we'd have a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie, and of course the tease for the Miles Morales Spider-Man movie. So we'd have 3 Spider-Man, and I do think that you would be saturating the market. But I think you are saturating the market. But overall, I do think that fans would be as successful as Spider-Man is doing right now. I can't see any of them failing. I don't know.
Well, yeah, like I said, going back to it, it's just Garfield steals the damn movie. And you know how hard it is to do that when everybody loves Tom Holland so much?
Yep.
100%. Like that scene where he shows up, I think I told Todd about it. Like they could have done 20 minutes of him trying to convince MJ and Ned that he was actually Peter Parker. And I would have been totally fine with it, because that whole scene is just so great. And it's so much fun. And you're just kind of like, God, I missed this guy. I didn't realize how much I missed this guy as Spider-Man until he came back.
Yep, 100%.
He even made a joke at Tobey Maguire's expense saying he looked like a youth pastor.
That was hilarious. It's freaking hilarious.
And that's and they do it once all 3 of them hit. They do all the stuff that you wish they would do. Like they actually have the conversation about how Tobey Maguire's webs come out of his body. Like all 3 of them are have a long discussion about it. Talking about battle scars, talking about different villains they fought. It's all the stuff that you would hope that they would do, to the point where you just kind of like the critical mind kicks in, like, don't they have pressing matters? But you just have so much fun watching them talk about it. You're just like, whatever, I'm fine.
Right. And I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. And like I said, I think that it's hilarious to me how good Andrew Garfield was in this movie. He stole the show. So
100%. And it shows that all 3 of those guys were able to come in with no. I mean, there's a paycheck involved, sure, if we're going to be cynical about it, but all 3 of them gave each other room to have that spotlight.
Apparently, Toby got paid the most out of both of them.
Who knows for this one though? Did he get paid the most for this one too?
I think
allegedly he got paid $20 million for his part of this movie. Allegedly,
For this movie. Wow.
Yeah.
For as little as he is in the movie, allegedly he got paid $20 million to be in it.
Damn.
Good for her. Get it, girl.
But the other thing I didn't quite like.
Well, he was in the suit the least out of all of them too.
Yeah, he was. And on top of it, like all three of them were mostly animated throughout the whole thing. But then it was driving me nuts in that whole scene. I was like, they should have made that scene take place during the day because it's nighttime. You can barely tell which one is which.
We talked about that too. We didn't think that.
There's subtle differences between the three of them. I mean, the only exception, I guess, is Tom Holland having that gold-plated thing across his chest. Which, by the way, I was like, wow, 4 different Spider-Man suits just for Tom Holland in this movie. Somebody's selling action figures off this thing.
Yeah.
Right.
He puts on the suit inside out for like one scene. Like that part of the movie where it turned into Pokemon, where he had to go catching all the villains.
And he had to catch them all. Got it. I will say that they had your thing in there, Gannon. They had your Spider-Man meme in there, or a version of it.
They did.
Since when was that my Spider-Man meme?
Well, because you always talked about it, and you were the one who said if it's not in the next movie, you're gonna have to kill somebody, didn't you?
Oh, I kind of knew it was gonna be in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they did a version of it.
I knew it was gonna be in there.
Oh, did you? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's why. Of course, because you spoil everything for yourself.
Actually, I knew about that a long time ago.
Wow. Well, they did it, and it was. I thought it was a cute way to do it.
Tom Holland actually did an interview where he said that he's in a scene where there's 5 superheroes in the room, and I was thinking about it watching the movie the whole time. It was in the back of my mind watching the movie, and I was like, God, Tom Holland is such a sweetheart, because the only time he's in a room with 5 or 6 characters, is when it's him, the 2 Spider-Men, then Ned and Mary Jane. So I was like, I think that's what he was talking about. He was looking at Ned and MJ like they were superheroes too.
It's possible.
He's the
I mean,
he's such a sweetheart, that kid.
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, for a white kid. I mean, come on.
For
he probably got paid the least of all 3 of them and was in the movie the most. Think about that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And
again, think about it. Andrew Garfield got screwed by Sony, and then they come along and be like, "Hey, you want to do another Spider-Man movie?" He's like, "Didn't you guys kind of screw me over? Like, we got money." Be like, "All right."
And to get shown up in your own movie by a Spider-Man that came before you. Ooh. So
that was my favorite meta thing, by the way, where they have that discussion, and he literally is just like, "Oh man, I'm lame compared to you 2 guys," and it's Tobey Maguire that's like, "Dude, you are not lame. You are amazing.
You're amazing."
And at first you're kind of taking on surface level that he's literally calling him the amazing Spider-Man, but it's a little bit more than that, where they're like having a discussion like, "Dude, you are not lame," because he thought he was lame, because that's how other fans kind of see him, that he's the lame guy. Meanwhile, he's stealing this movie away from Tom Holland at the same time.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. I'm with you on that. So
I can't wait to see him do interviews now.
I haven't seen it, and I get the feeling like Garfield acted circles around everybody else.
He acted circles around everybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time doing a service to the movie and the other characters, though.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. He wasn't doing it to be a pretentious, arrogant actor prick. He did it because that's what his character called for. So I agree 100% with you on that. Now, Gannon, where would you place this? Where would you place this in the pantheon? Number 1, between 1 and 5 stars. What would you give it?
Keep in mind, you said don't go.
Yeah, keep in mind you said don't go.
Yeah, but I feel like I do that for every movie, even if I like it now.
All right. So what?
Because I don't want to sit next to people that don't know. You don't have to crinkle your water bottle during a movie. Like, you can just sip it. You don't have to crinkle your water bottle during a movie.
First of all,
while Keanu Reeves is having a discussion with Morpheus, and you're just like, "Oh wow, I would sure love to know what they're talking about, because I'm sure Lana Wachowski spent a lot of time writing this. But meantime, I gotta listen to somebody squeezing their Aquafina ball because they don't know how to hold a water bottle while they're drinking it for some reason."
Hang on a second. In order to get the water out, you have to squeeze it.
No, you see, Greg, you know what? Did you have parents?
2 of them.
They didn't grease you right then.
Oh, so you don't have to squeeze the water bottle to get the water out of it?
No, dog. No, dog.
Man, okay. You're gonna have to teach me that move because that's weird. So
I mean, I could pull the taffy on that one, and then we can get into some real fun.
Speaking of taffy, ladies and gentlemen, joining us, Franny is in the house.
Man, what is going on with this episode?
Franny, what did you think of No Way Home?
How are
It's
you?
now going to be a 4-hour episode of the NERDWatch.
I know, seriously. How are you?
Hi, nice to see your faces.
Yeah, nice to see you too. By the way,
hi.
Your Maui Comics and Collectibles shirt looks fabulous on you, Franny. Fabulous.
Yeah, I really filled it out, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Whatever. When I do my photo shoot with it, you guys are going to change your minds.
I picked that material so we could see your nipples through the shirt, Gannon.
I know.
His big,
Who's
thick,
the real
sausage
MVP?
nipples.
I'm gonna take some Winnie the Pooh style pictures if you guys know what I'm saying.
Oh,
You bear it. No pants.
Wow. So, Franny, you joined us this evening. Did you get a chance?
Wear a bear suit when I put on the shirt? Duh.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you get to watch any movies? Did you watch Spider-Man or Matrix or anything?
Oh no, that's out. I didn't know. Sorry, guys. I'm out of the loop. I didn't even know you guys were doing the podcast. Out of the loop.
I'm totally sorry I didn't send you an invite earlier. I would have.
If you wanted me here.
I always want you here. We were talking about Spider-Man tonight, so I thought maybe you had seen it or something and you wanted to give your review.
No, sorry. Again,
No, it's okay.
I honestly, I'm out of the loop.
Well, listen, you know who is here? Cynthia's here.
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Your best buddy. So she watched the show. You need to catch up and watch these movies so we can talk about it. Because the next time we're on,
go watch it right now and come back.
Yeah. Okay. We'll still be here. Do I have to know anything about? Do I have to know anything about the recent Spider-Mans?
No, actually. You don't. It'd be good, but you don't have to know anything. I figured you'd be more interested in the Matrix.
Oh no, I feel like it's. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I figured Franny would be more into the Matrix than Spider-Man.
Why?
So, like taking pills?
Because you think she likes girls walking around in tight vinyl or something? What kind of person do you think she is?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all.
If you take the red pill and the blue pill, then it neutralizes itself.
Then it's Purple Rain, and then
It tastes like purple.
You know, they actually ought to do that in the movie where you take them both and then nothing happens.
Can I say?
And you get your money back.
I was bragging on you, Francine, while Liam Sharp's wife was talking about how she did a drag king of Lemmy Kilmister.
Oh,
and
yeah?
I was like,
but that was awesome.
I was ranting and raving about you. I was like, you need to see Francine's drag king persona. It's so sleazy. It's so good.
Yay! Thanks, dude.
Are you ever gonna resurrect?
Resurrect? I'm gonna big erection. It's gonna be awesome. Big old steamy, veiny re-erection.
Wow. Franny, speaking of cringy things, you, my dear, you, my dear, are of course the founder of Cringe Cinema, and you told me something at Comic-Con. I don't know if I could share it, but you're thinking about resurrecting that in 2022. Can you talk about that at all?
Okay, sure. If you guys want to join me, I would love to have another go of it. There's like a bunch of movies that I want to show, and I don't know. I just love watching like gross ass movies, and I like it better when I get to hang out with everybody and get gross together.
Those were fun events.
They're kind of fun, right?
Wait. Yeah. Wait. All I'm hearing is that we're going to get together in a group and get gross.
Yeah. I mean,
Gannon?
I know, for reals, right? Mr. Pooh Bear is like bottomless.
Do you have any ideas of what films you'd like to watch for Cringe Cinema?
Yeah. Actually, I want to watch The Greasy Strangler again, because it was really nasty and good. Mm-hmm. and I was wanting to watch Society. I kind of wanted double features and just watch like one gross one after another. Then what is it? The Night of Something Strange. That one was really fucking raunchy, and I'm sorry, really raunchy. And
Greg, have you ever seen that?
I've seen Society. I've never seen that one.
You haven't? Yeah, you really should see Night of Something Strange.
Okay.
yeah.
That one is a dirty movie.
Yeah, and there's just like some fun like giallo movies that we've been finding, me and Johnny, that are really, really like wild and just absurd. I just think that the cultural changes too from the 1970s to now are kind of hilarious to watch because you're just like, wow, people used to treat each other like that, and it was just okay. But yeah, I don't know. I'm been throwing around in the old brain box here of how to make it happen. But I'm sure it's no Way Home, or is it Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
By the way, Phormat.
Yo,
Phormat. She said Giallo movies, not Jello movies.
Oh, makes sense.
Just in case there's confusion.
Well, when you do get the Cringe Cinema thing up and running again, make sure to let Alika know ahead of time, so he's not somehow scheduled for a Hana visit.
I felt so bad because that was the coolest event, because you actually made T-shirts for that. For Nothing But Trouble was the premier Cringe Cinema event at Maui.
And you're like reversing out of your parking lot. You're like, peace out. And I was like, hey, where are you going?
I'm so sorry.
Doors unlocked. Bye.
Guys,
Wait. The Nothing But Trouble, is the one with Dan Aykroyd, or the one before that?
No, the one with Dan Archer.
Huh?
Shut up, freaking Gannon! You're such an idiot.
But
no,
then,
I want
the one that Big Bird's in.
You're an
the
idiot.
one that you're so stupid. But then you guys did Pink Flamingos, and that was incredible because that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I lost some friends over that showing. Actually, I felt really bad about that.
What?
Yeah,
It's a shocking movie.
Well, then
Yeah,
they weren't friends.
They didn't know what they were in for?
They didn't know what they were in for. They were sweet young little nuggets, and I didn't really. Last time I had seen it was in college, which was just a few days ago, but it was a long time ago.
You didn't tell them about John Waters, the master of trash cinema?
I told them it was going to get pretty raunchy. No, they didn't do. They just came in blind and trusting, and then wouldn't return my text messages after they left early. So, it's okay. I guess it's a good little sieve or filter,
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, at least they know that you guys are not compatible. Like, I think that's a great movie to show people. Just
all of a sudden, they remembered they had to be in Hana with Alika.
there are some people. I saw that movie in high school and fell in love with it. It was like I was love at first sight. But that movie is like a clear dividing line. Like, I've shown people this movie. I've made people watch this movie and sit all the way through. And there are some people who are still mad at me from that high school show. Like, I was like, you guys got to watch this movie. And they watched it. And they're like, hey, man, I hate you now.
Yeah, no, I've never had that reaction. That's so weird.
Had that reaction.
You both have.
I've had that reaction. And they were so mad.
Johnny used...
Oh, sorry. Gannon, are you going to tell me that you actually hate me because I made you watch that movie? Is that what you're going to say?
No. I was going to say I've never even heard Alika speak that passionately about his wife, so he must really love that movie.
Oh, wow. Damn!
I'm glad in the room to agree with you.
Well, I mean,
his pet name for her. So
his early stuff is always the most controversial. The Pink Flamingos, Polyester, Female Trouble. Those are like
but if you've watched them. Of them all, Pink Flamingo is that shock value.
It is. I agree.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, Johnny
100%.
used to use Bloodsucking Freaks as his filter for people. He'd put it on when people came around when he was younger, and whether or not they stuck around.
Bloodsucking Freaks is actually a very kind of it is definitely cringe, but it's cool.
Yeah.
Cool movie.
Yeah,
it's super. Bloodsucking Freaks is actually pretty cool. I
had the same effect with Comic Book the movie. I showed a bunch of friends of that, and now I don't hear from them anymore.
The Mark Hamill movie?
Yeah.
I need to look this up now. I don't think I've
You don't remember Comic Book the movie, the one that Mark Hamill directed? He did a documentary about comic books.
It sucks.
It's horrible.
It's pretty bad. But the entire cast is people from
Ladies and
voiceover
gentlemen,
work and
if I may interject, Ron Cataguy says, I got that reaction when I told people to check out NERDWatch. You guys are my filter.
Touche, Ron. Touche.
Okay, hey, G-Money, this is a good time for you to queue up Bird It Is the Word. And I'm gonna start doing my dance, okay?
Yeah. Oh, we're
Oh, no, stop.
That is freaking awesome.
Yes,
Actually,
exactly.
it's the other song. It's Baba Ooh Mau Mau.
Yeah, that's it. Well, how many? Well, listen.
That guy's very talented.
Yeah.
Can you do that, G?
Well, I do have a microphone, and I could definitely do that.
I'm not talking about sing the song. I'm talking about wink your butthole on command.
I can't even get my butt that high anymore.
Did you say wink your butt on command?
Obviously,
Have
you
you
don't
not seen
understand the
Pink
reference.
Flamingos?
You've never seen the reference.
No, I just wanted to repeat that. That's all.
Oh, okay. All right. Just making sure you got the reference.
Oh no, I don't care with the reference. I just wanted to hear it again.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, say it again for us, Steve. I got $5. Say it again.
Franny, how many Crincinas would you like to do in 2022?
I guess if I'm doing all the work for him, I'd only want to do one. But
Doing-
if I get help,
That's fair.
if I get help putting him on, then we can do more.
Oh, okay.
Hosting is pretty exhausting, because I have to get money to pay for the license to rent it for the night through the company, and then think about how I'm gonna feed everybody and invite people, and then find the place. The usual
I
hosting
actually may have
thing.
found a venue for you.
Yeah, I would be down for it.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk. Let's talk.
I like when Franny throws a thing because it's always like an official, it's a legit.
Yeah.
She went and paid for the licensing and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Oh yeah, I would just go for it and worry about getting sued later.
Yeah,
That's true.
I could do that too.
What do they
I'll
say?
just say
It's
Maui Comic-Con presents Maui Cringe Cinema.
it's better to ask forgiveness and ask permission.
But also, I don't have to message you later for this. I can just say that Request Music is always open for you too, if you ever would want to use that as a venue. So
yeah, cool, awesome. Joe's awesome. He's wonderful.
Yeah,
That is
he's a
freaking
big
great.
supporter of local arts and culture. So
He's a good kisser too.
Ooh,
Oh wow,
I don't know.
interesting.
To know.
Interesting. So listen, before we wrap up here,
I mean, I've heard that.
Shut up, Gannon. You're such
That's how
an idiot.
Gannon gets all his gigs at Request Music. Jose just nudging him closer. Do it.
You're going to take one for the team to get another show, Gannon.
We got to put in some extra credit for Miss Fest 2022.
Oh yeah,
That's freaking awesome.
Well, Alika's going to make Joe listen as part of the show, and then I won't be able to go to request again.
That's a good point.
You'll be
Without
invited many more
kissing him?
times.
Yeah, without actually doing the deed. Yeah, that'll probably piss him off. The fact that you mentioned and not actually do it.
Oh, I've known Joe for years.
That's what I mean. See,
when you leave Request, Joe's going to turn to me and be like, "I thought he was going to kiss me."
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like he left. He forgot to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'll turn around and run back like a Nicholas Sparks thing and just
There you go.
It'll
You know,
start raining in the store.
It's
It'll be like the Notebook without the rain.
No,
Aw,
there will be
the
the rain.
rain's the
because
best
Down
part.
upside down like Spider-Man.
well,
Hey,
Gannon's
speaking of
walking.
Spider-Man, I actually stood in the alleyway where Tobey Maguire kissed Kirsten Dunst like that. Not
Did
to
you
brag.
Really? Mm-hmm.
The very alleyway where they shot that, I actually stood there.
Wow.
You stood there like this,
Waiting.
just waiting for it.
I asked the
Lip
tour guy,
pucker.
but he wasn't into it.
Ugh.
Oh. Did
Wow.
Joe come down?
So
and kiss
believe it
you?
or not, Greg, a little bit of cinema trivia. That was shot in Warner Brothers Studios, not too far away from where the Gremlins town was.
Ooh, really?
Oh,
That's
cool.
where it was shot.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Man, that's freaking crazy.
Literally like 500 feet away from Mrs. Deagle's house.
Oh, really? That's
Yep.
crazy. I did not know that.
You wouldn't
Wow.
think so, but yeah, that's what they told us.
We can all
That's
sleep
crazy.
better tonight knowing that.
What were they?
I feel really good. Secure.
Yeah.
Well, you absolutely should.
What That's right. That's right.
Besides, I was telling Greg that, not you guys.
Fuck me then.
I guess I'll forget about it. It wasn't for me.
Put it out of your minds, ladies. Put
This
it
is
right
called
out
an
of your
A
minds.
and B conversation.
Oh, damn.
Oh, wow.
There's a whole alphabet here, motherfucker.
There's a lot of male testosterone. So before we leave, ladies, is there anything you'd like to discuss before we leave?
Yeah, male testosterone.
Is there a lot of testosterone?
Vulva?
I don't know.
No.
Isn't that pasta?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a low
That's a
T.
good
It's
point.
a low T
Pepperoni.
room.
This is a low T room. It's true.
You know, I keep crying at everything I watch. I might be low T, I think.
Aw,
Hey,
cute.
That's true. I cried at No Way Home. I'll give you that. Damn it. I
You
cried
might
at
be low T
Afterlife.
too, sir.
I'm very low T. I
You are a lowercase T.
Yeah.
yeah,
You're a
sorry.
lowercase italic T.
Yes, unfortunately,
man.
that is the case. Anyway, listen, I want to tell all of you guys, all those in the
No,
chat
don't.
and in the room, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. We will be back next year.
How dare you?
Yeah.
War on Christmas here in the
celebrate, bro.
NERDWatch.
Sorry, I said Merry Christmas,
What's
Happy
the satanic
Holidays.
equivalent to Christmas?
Well, we sacrificed a virgin, so I'll be over about noon tomorrow for that. Get you ready.
Oh my gosh. Well, no, for those that don't celebrate it, of course, it's the celebration of the winter solstice. It's Saturnalia. So for those that don't know, the
Wow,
things
do
that
you think?
Nerd.
see, I know these things, Granny. I know. But yes,
You
I
just,
hope you
you
guys.
just looked up Google just now, didn't you?
No,
on the Nerd
my
podcast.
hands were right here. Didn't even touch the keyboard.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
So
You must use another appendage to type that in.
If
His
only that
nipples
were
are
the case.
also fingers.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be a band name, Nipples for Fingers.
Fingers for nipples.
Well, Carl says, "Damn, just saw my notification." Carl, you missed everything, right? It's this thing's
Wait,
already.
didn't see No Way Home yet or not? Because I don't know if he did. If he didn't, then he dodged a bullet.
He saw No Way Home already. I know
Oh,
he
okay.
did.
Oh,
he
okay,
did.
then we're fine. I know I saw something about him saying he didn't see it yet.
Yeah. Well, we will be back. I want to make sure that I have this correct. And
I think the next show back should be me and Todd fighting over Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then basically nobody else needs to be on the show.
I think I would actually agree with that.
Is there anything coming out this weekend that I should know about? 'Cause I don't celebrate anything this weekend. I will have
The only thing that came out today, and that was Resurrections. Everything else doesn't come
No,
out
that's
till.
not true. Kingsman came out today too.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right, the Kingsman. That's right, the Kingsman, the third in the trilogy, I guess.
The franchise that insists upon itself.
That
Yeah.
franchise has zero appeal to me. I don't know. I even after the
Like I
second
just
movie,
said, man, that franchise insists upon itself. I don't know anybody that's excited about it. We're 3 movies deep on it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
4.
excited
This is
about
going to be
it.
the 4th movie.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. It insists upon itself.
This is the third movie. There's going to be a fourth.
That's what. Yeah.
I thought this movie that just came out now is the 4th movie.
No, this is the third movie.
Well, technically, it's a prequel, and then the next one would be 3.
Correct.
I thought there was 1 and 2, and then there was King's Man, and now this one.
No, this is the King's Man.
This is King's Man, dude. Oh my god.
Kingsman. Yeah, you totally missed it.
See, that's
brother.
how much this franchise sucks. Alika doesn't even know, and it's a comic book related thing.
It's such a balls, man.
But I mean, Alika doesn't know everything.
You're stoked?
Format stoked. I'm sorry.
Man,
Get that man a ticket.
Whatever.
No, Franny's right. Alika doesn't know everything.
I don't know everything.
About comics. You haven't watched Mystery Men yet? Come on.
I have not watched Mystery Men either yet. That's
What?
What?
No,
And
I haven't.
I missed out on getting that bowling ball.
Damn it,
A
did you get it?
superhero movie with Tom Waits in it, and Alika didn't watch it.
You
Wait,
almost
did you
owned that bowling ball?
Did you get that bowling ball, Gannon?
Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I forgot to go back for it. That by the time I did go back for it, it was gone.
I went for it and I missed it by 15 minutes. Somebody had sold it at my bag.
Yeah.
15 minutes.
Alika,
Someone was there before they opened.
Hang on a minute. Now listen, I'm not movie shaming you, but someone like he has not
you guys
seen
are
Mystery
movie
Men.
shaming me. I don't know. On my screen, I'm in the center square right here, and you're all like pointing at me, going,
"Yeah, you're Jan Brady right now. Stop it."
Mystery Men is so great. It's good. Oh my gosh!
I understand.
Damn it!
It's my favorite West Studi movie.
Yeah. I know I'll love it when I see it. I just have not seen it yet, and
it ages really, really awesomely too. I just watched it the other night. Still holds up. Still hilarious.
They need to reboot that movie.
Yeah.
The guy who directed it only directed that movie, Kinka Usher or whatever his name is.
Made that name up.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I remembered it.
What was his name? Kinky Musher?
Kinka Usher.
That's what I said.
That's his name. Big shout out to Jamie who's listening. He said he's watching The Matrix and he's on an intermission. That's exactly what Alika's on as well. It must not be that good.
Matrix.
Wait. On HBO Max, there's an intermission?
He's on an intermission. He didn't say there was an intermission. He said he's on one.
Last night. I didn't want.
I mean, I guess technically there can be because you just pause it.
Yeah.
When you're
I was thinking like if there's a technical intermission on HBO Max because it's supposed to be for the ad-free service.
No, negative. There's no intermission on there at all. Oh, by the way, before I forget too, isn't there supposed to be a Guardians of the Galaxy like Christmas special? Isn't that coming up like
not until they
Day?
start filming it.
I thought that was supposed to come out this year. No,
not until they start filming it, dude. He just started filming part 3.
The next thing.
Oh, okay.
No, but he's talking about you're talking about the Groot one, or are you talking about the?
No, he's talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, but he's going to shoot that simultaneously with part 3, which they just started. So that's not coming out till next year, most likely.
I think Ms. Marvel is the next thing we're going to get.
Which might have gotten delayed too, I think.
Yeah, it did.
It's still a few more days till Christmas. Maybe they can just bang it out.
Or we could just watch Pee-wee's Christmas special again. That's always classic.
By the way, if you're gonna watch a movie on Disney Plus, don't let it be Home Sweet Home Alone. That movie is garbage.
I could not believe that they used that as a movie premise. So I can't even repeat it, but they had such good actors. They had Ellie Kemper in there as one of the villains. They could have done so much more with it.
It's the Jojo Rabbit kid too, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Jojo Rabbit kid.
Oh, wow.
It is. It's garbage. It's bad.
But they literally wrote it like it was a straight to VHS movie. It was crazy.
It was awful.
Wait. What's worse than Home Alone 3 or that movie? Home Sweet Home Alone is worse than Home Alone 3. Are you saying that Scarlett Johansson's in 3?
No. I'm just saying it's worse. It's bad.
Home Alone 3 is kind of a classic.
Whoa.
Which one has Donald Trump in it?
Wow.
First of all,
the weirdest things out of nowhere.
I don't think anyone in the history of the world has ever said that till now.
My kids are obsessed with the Home Alone. I think it's very frightening, by the way, that my children are obsessed with Home Alone because it's just about children maiming adults. So it's kind of troubling.
That's why I won't show it to my son. I'm like, you want to see The Matrix? Great. You want to see Home Alone? No, sir.
Since we're talking about Home Alone and I brought this up, I have a question. Home Alone. No. Okay, here's my thing about Home Alone, and it makes sense.
Go.
This is not from me. This theory actually comes from someone else.
4chan.
Could have been 4chan. So Donald Trump.
Still a thing?
No, I'm just kidding.
4chan is basically G Money's subconscious transcribed.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is that, and somebody brought up this point, and it makes sense for the original Home Alone movie. Never once, that I remember, and I could be wrong, never once does the mom pick up the phone to call Kevin at the house.
Really?
So why?
Well, see, Greg, there's this thing that happens in movies to allow the plot to happen.
Where were you when we were talking about Spider-Man?
All right. Now, right, and that's what but right. Home Sweet Home Alone makes no sense because the internet exists, right? So it's kind of stupid. Social media exists, cell phones exist. In Home Alone, the internet wasn't a thing. No. Neither were cell phones, but there was a house phone, and she could have called it.
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things about Home Sweet Home Alone that don't make sense, but they address the existence of the internet in that movie. So come on, be fair when you're.
All right, that
whole
fine.
plot is complete ludicrous garbage.
It's
but the
trash.
internet exists in that movie. They
But
address it.
the weird part is in Home Sweet Home Alone, the actual villain is the kid, and the
kid is straight. Like I love how Home Alone is slowly becoming a children's horror movie.
Yes,
because
yes.
This one, they don't even hide that this kid is like a bloodthirsty asshole.
He's a he is. He's a dick. He's a total dick.
No,
some of the kill scenes from Home Sweet Home Alone are like
kills.
brutal.
Did you say kills?
No, that's
I call them kill scenes. In any Home Alone movie, any scene where a prank happens to these adults would kill a normal person. So I call them kill scenes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense why that was a meme, right? Like it was memed out that Kevin McAllister grew up to become the Saw guy.
It's true, man. He is a sociopath in that movie. He's
Richard in the chat says because she isn't in any place she can call an airport, and the storm knocked out the phone lines. That part is all right. That's a fair one. That's a fair one.
Also, I think Kevin just had a thirst for blood.
He set the whole thing up.
He set the
whole thing up. I mean, technically, he does. He did wish for it to happen.
Yeah, he did wish for it to happen.
But in Home Sweet Home Alone,
he's a wizard.
One of the kill scenes, he throws. He knocks the legs out of a trampoline and he throws one of the villains into a pole spine first.
No, you're missing it. The parents are the heroes. That kid is the freaking villain.
That's
Screw that.
The kid is a villain.
Straight up villain in that movie. It is nuts.
I don't know, man. He's just misunderstood.
They really should have. They really should have just taken a page from that last Halloween movie, where the wet bandits come out after all these years of being in jail. And they have a grudge now. They want to kill adult Kevin. But here's the thing. Kevin's been waiting for this for 20 years.
That's creepy. Oh, that's so awesome. I could totally
And its entire house is like the most epic booby trap you've ever seen.
The blowtorch points directly in their face instead of at the top of his head.
Right. It's in their eyes.
Who wouldn't want to see an elderly Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern getting annihilated by a 40-year-old Macaulay Culkin? Who doesn't want to see it? Oh my God, I said 20 years. That's way longer than that now I think about it.
I would pay a lot of really good money to watch that movie.
I think everyone would, but nobody would have the balls to make it.
How much really bad money would you pay?
Like the entire Monopoly packet of money.
All of it.
That's a lot.
Speaking of Christmas conspiracy theories, did you hear that there's a theory? Cynthia, I saw it on TikTok.
Oh, the TikToks.
Yeah.
Was it that Mary wasn't a virgin?
No. They're saying that there's a link between Seuss's The Grinch Who Stole Christmas and The Nightmare Before Christmas. And they say that when the Grinch dies, he actually becomes Jack Skellington.
You know what I heard on TikTok? I heard that because the Horton Hears a Who and it's Whoville, that the Grinch is only teeny tiny.
Ooh, that's true.
That's a good one. I'm telling you.
Does that mean the Grinch's cave is Horton's butthole?
It means so many things.
It means so many things. It makes. I'm telling you.
That's canon. That's canon now.
TikTok
the Grinch lives in Horton's butthole.
TikTok is a world of crazy stuff that I never thought I'd be anywhere interested in, and I totally am.
You're on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok.
I'm always sending Francine TikToks.
Yeah, Greg doesn't mind being monitored by the Chinese government.
That's why I don't post anything. I just scroll. I don't post nothing. I'm
Greg,
afraid.
I hate to break it to you. You wouldn't post anything important enough for the Chinese to watch.
Exactly, 100%. I agree with that.
We have to find each other so I can send you videos.
Okay. Oh no! Don't. Oh my God.
Please?
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Okay. It's
I'll make it worth your while.
I'm on the TikToks.
I know. I send Gannon videos too, and he doesn't. What the heck? He doesn't watch him. He doesn't care.
I actually forget I'm on it most of the time.
I tried sending Haimana Yamato some TikToks, and I was like, oh, I feel like I might have sent him maybe 80 videos, and he hasn't responded to any of them. I think maybe he just he doesn't like me anymore.
Well, some people can't.
Mine is G Money __ 808. That's mine.
What's happening?
G Money _ 808. It's two underscores 808.
Greg, say it one more time for people to subscribe to you.
There's already a G Money on there.
So everybody can start checking. It's okay. I don't care.
Greg, do it one more time to make sure everybody follows you.
__ 808.
808.
Yeah,
all right, did you guys get that?
I'm about to mess up your algorithm, dude.
Oh God! Oh my gosh!
I sent my mom the most like liberal, weird stuff to mess up her algorithm. I don't think she realizes that's why I'm sending it to her.
You're terrible.
Greg, I got it.
What?
You should look up Baldo videos on TikTok.
No.
That's BALLDO for everybody at home.
I mean, you guys have his address now, so like, just send it to him.
It's true. Can I?
Clear Bob's on his way.
I want to recommend a show on Disney Plus. I don't recommend a lot of shows on Disney Plus, but I am going to recommend this one. It has nothing to do with nerd.
Unless you're
only if you're a music nerd. That Peter Jackson documentary about the Beatles called Get Back is fan-freaking-tastic.
And I hate the Beatles.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
I love the Beatles. I've been a huge Beatles fan ever since I was a kid. I think I was kind of a rebel. I was kind of a rebellion to like the Beatles because my father doesn't like the Beatles because he grew up on the Beach Boys. So I like the Beach Boys.
Weirdest thing I've ever heard somebody said. I was a rebellion to like the Beatles.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. Yeah. That it was kind of a rebellion.
Because rebellion's not a person.
No, I like something that that the family didn't like, so it's kind of like me rebelling. So I like the Beatles. But the Get Back documentary, if you haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus. It's amazing. It looks like it was filmed yesterday, and that's no pun intended to the Beatles.
Yeah, sing it.
He needs to stop doing stuff for Disney Plus and go back to doing his 4K Blu-ray of Dead Alive and Bad Taste. God damn it!
Yeah, well, that's that. I feel the same way about James Cameron. James Cameron should stop making Avatar movies and put out special editions of The Abyss and True Lies.
Okay, Greg. After Avatar 2 and 3 comes out, I assure you there won't be more Avatar movies, so you're gonna be fine.
Okay, thank God.
You know, speaking of Peter Jackson, Meet the Feebles was my movie that I used to show people to see if they could be friends.
There you go, Francine. That should be one. That should be one.
That's a great movie.
We'll put it on the list. We're gonna have people join that Facebook group that we have. Everyone puts their suggestions on there.
Meet the Feebles is definitely disturbing.
Okay, it's not the Ed Begley Jr. movie, though. I think you're confusing it with that one, Greg.
Meet the Feebles?
That's Meet the Applegate.
That's Meet the Applegates. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. I know the Meet the
Applegate. Okay, I just want to check because you'd probably confused with that, I would think, because it is you.
No, absolutely 100% no. Listen, since we're all here having a good time, is there anything around this? I don't know, Franny, are we? I always have a good time with you.
Speak for yourself, Greg.
Around this time of season, is there something that you guys enjoy watching that you'd recommend to the audience that's listening?
I just watched Magnolia last night for the first time, and I don't recommend anyone watch it.
For the first time?
The Paul Thomas Anderson movie?
I know, right? I know. I hadn't seen it. I was like, I remember like people talking about this movie, so I put it on last night. I was like, why? What is happening? This music it's killing me. And then I just continued to watch it. I didn't turn it off, and then it was done, and I was like, why? I don't understand. I still don't understand it.
So you didn't like it? Okay, that's fair. It's definitely an acquired taste. I really like Magnolia. Tom Cruise is off the charts.
Dude in that movie.
Holy moly!
Yeah, he is your dude in that movie.
Goodness gracious, Cynthia, what about you? Anything you like to watch during this season?
I like to watch Home for the Holidays during Thanksgiving.
Oh, the one with Jodie Foster directed, Holly Hunter's in with Robert Downey Jr.
I really like that movie. Gosh, I don't know. I watched Night Books last night, which I really liked.
Oh, that was that kids' Netflix show, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's actually kind of scary for kids.
It was. Max was actually terrified, and he watched scary stuff, like super.
Ooh.
Wow.
So it was really fun. And we watched something else, and I can't remember what it was. But no, I mean, obviously we'll watch Scrooged and Elf and all that.
Scrooged. That's a classic.
That's awesome.
Elf is a classic. Mm-hmm. Phormat, do you watch anything during the holiday season that you enjoy?
Yeah, Home Sweet Home Alone.
And then Die Hard, his favorite Christmas movie.
Die Hard is fantastic. Man. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is the best. Kai, what about you?
Gremlins.
Gremlins. Ooh, good movie. It's a good Christmas pull.
Gremlins and Die Hard.
Gannon, what about you?
Well, not Matrix Resurrections. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, what a bummer. What a bummer.
Gannon,
I'm very partial to Krampus. And I actually have not yet watched the 4K edition that Shout Factory just put out.
The one with the director's cut on it? I want that so bad.
It is kind of, it's called the naughty cut, but really all it is that they just kind of cut back in a lot of the cuss words that they took out of it to make it PG-13. Like they said, tops. There's 4 minutes of footage that wasn't in the original. So a lot of it is just bad language, and there's probably just a few extra, maybe gore shots or things like that. So it's probably not a director's cut.
Okay.
Just not a watered down version that they did for PG-13, because that movie's still great at PG-13. But
I agree.
But I'm a big fan of that.
Watch that.
I'm a big fan of that. I actually thought that if he did Trick or Treat and then Krampus, maybe he shouldn't go back and do Trick or Treat 2. Maybe he should do another holiday horror film, like a Valentine's Day horror film or something. You know what I mean?
You should just move along. Trick or Treat, Krampus. You should do New Year's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be good.
He'd run into
we do need another New Year's.
He'd run into trouble with St. Patrick's Day because we already have Leprechaun.
Oh yeah, he'd have to skip that.
He'd have to skip St. Patrick's Day or come with something better than Leprechaun.
We could do. I mean, what holidays don't we have? I mean, for horror. I mean, sheesh,
Labor Day.
There's really not. There's not enough 4th of July horror. There's that Uncle Sam movie, and Return of the Living Dead. But there aren't a lot of horror movies.
Does The Happening count as an Arbor Day?
I think so, because the environment bites back at Mark Wahlberg.
There's actually an anthology horror film called Holidays that actually does do this.
Oh, really?
Where it's like short films for each holiday. Kevin Smith actually directed one on there too.
Wow.
I forget which one he did, but yeah, it's called Holidays.
I know that on Hulu, I think it was by Blumhouse, they did a Thanksgiving one. I don't know if you guys saw that one. They did
I didn't watch it.
Was that one that was the trailer for on one of those in a Grindhouse?
It was a trailer for a Grindhouse movie, but they actually made a movie called Thanksgiving.
That trailer was so good.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. I agree.
There's
100%.
I forget what there's like a series of 4 that Hulu comes out with. I forget what it's called, but I think it's one of those like kind of shorter movies. But it was where like pilgrims take over the house. Like people had hired these people to LARP pilgrims during the holidays, and they end up like taking over and like something like that.
That's
watched too many
psycho.
movies, but it was good. Yeah, it's creepy.
Totally psycho.
That's
I like
not
that.
Psycho. Psycho is a completely different movie.
It's got nothing to do with holidays either. Maybe Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day's a good one. Mother's Day's a good one. We had a Father's Day one already. Okay. Well, we gotta figure.
Yeah. We'll probably end up watching like a what is the Silent Night, Deadly Night?
Good one. Good one.
Yeah, I think we might have gotten part 2 in just recently, so I watched that.
5 was pretty good too, Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
Did
that
you
movie.
8-Bit Christmas?
Oh, the one on HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how?
No, I didn't. I heard that was supposed to be fun though. I want to watch it. It's on HBO Max, so I'll take it.
I missed that title. What was that?
8-Bit Christmas. It's about video games and kids that love video games.
Ew.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that's about.
I just remember one.
Which one?
The animated series Claws on Netflix. That's actually pretty good.
I don't remember that one.
They just came out with the stop animation one too. I think that's on HBO Max as well. And
you're talking about
California Raisins.
I didn't hear what you said, Kai, because Gannon wanted to get his joke out. Yes, I think so. Yes.
The one with Seth Rogen and
Santa Inc. That has been getting terrible reviews, like terrible.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but once I realized it was going to be too lewd for Max, I was like, well, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not.
Try Claws. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
Richard says there should be a horror movie for Arbor Day, and Joel, being as controversial as is, MLK. I don't get it. Well, you could have MLK come back from the dead and exact revenge on the government that shot him.
Wait,
or he
what?
could fight Columbus for the day.
Oh, I know where my money's going.
I don't understand what this is. This is a movie about milk?
Yeah, ML. No, not milk.
Oh,
no.
Harvey Milk has a movie.
Harvey Milk does have a movie. I think, well, for me during this time, my stuff is more like super traditional. I like Christmas Carol and Elf and all that other stuff. So, I mean, yeah, I know it's a Wonderful Life. Elf is great.
Really
no
good.
Christmas Stories, no National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
You know, I tried to watch National Lampoons again, and that did not age well. I was just like,
wow.
It doesn't, but there's a small part of me that still loves watching for Christmas anyway.
I can't.
No,
I tried showing it to Max. I'm like, what am I showing you? I'm turning this off.
It's only good for Cousin Eddie and the blow up that Chevy Chase has at the end of that movie, which is fantastic.
That's not true. That scene where all those board member guys start leaving and he's all Merry Christmas, kiss my ass, kiss his
That is
ass.
the only good part of the movie. As far as
I love that part of that movie. I crack up every time.
The one I crack up before that, I love when he gets into detail about the product that he's making, the non-nutritive cereal varnish. It's like this. It helps keep your cereal crispy in milk, which I thought was so stupid.
You laugh at that, but I'll bet you somebody's actually trying to come up with that.
It's true. a non-nutritive cereal varnish, which I thought was just okay. I'm gonna put that. It sounds
funny when you say it when you watch the movie, but I bet you there's some guy out there right now trying to figure that out.
It's definitely possible. Oh, by the way, Christmas Carol is one that I like. I like the one with Alistair Sim. If you guys can ever find that movie, it is fantastic. It's one of the best ones I've ever seen
as well.
Muppets is good. I will say that there's two great movies on this holiday that Kurt Russell's in that I think a lot of people don't know about on Netflix called The Christmas Chronicles Part 1 and 2, the one with his longtime partner Goldie Hawn, super cute. I really like those movies. Those are actually pretty cute. Yeah, they're not married.
No, not married.
They're not married anymore?
No, they've never been married.
I thought they were.
No, they've never been married, dude.
Shows how much I care about that relationship.
Right. Yeah. I think next year I'm gonna watch Hawkeye again. I think it's a cute Christmassy.
Oh,
yeah, I get that feeling too. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say that it's definitely holiday oriented?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, okay. I could see that.
You know that movie people don't usually bring up, although it's way about Christmas. I don't hear it that often from people's mouths. Batman Returns.
Oh, for sure. I showed that to Max. Yeah.
I just saw. I'm gonna watch
that movie's
it.
flat out centered around Christmas, and nobody ever brings it up. They're always fighting about Die Hard every year.
I just saw a YouTube video of a guy like 6 days ago put up about Batman Returns isn't as bad as you remember. So I'm kind of curious as to what he thinks.
It might actually be worse than I remember.
You think
so?
No,
I loved it.
Movie.
It can only be worse than I remember because I loved it.
Yeah, I agree with you. When I watched it,
I pull that movie out when people grumble about Affleck killing people in the Zack Snyder movies. When Michael Keaton flat out stuffs dynamite in a dude's pants and shoves him in a sewer.
Yeah, but he didn't die.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't mind that. We didn't mind that at all, but we mind when Ben Affleck shoots people with his car.
We don't. Well, I would any opportunity to shit on Affleck.
Yeah.
And that's fair. If you hate Affleck, that's fine. But I think when you're just rumbling about Batman killing people, like, dude, Michael Keaton was killing people way worse half the time.
Phormat's right, though. That guy did not die.
That's a super comic. That's a comical kiddie way to kill. That's like a cartoon.
That's a hilarious way to kill somebody.
Wildly
killed Zod in cold blood worse than Cavill killed Zod.
That's a good point. Now, controversial question.
Did you talk about Michael Keaton being in Batgirl yet? By the way, because that came out today.
Yeah, he's going to be in Batgirl. I saw that.
Okay.
We didn't really talk about it because we talked just about movies. Question: since we're talking about Christmas movies, is Jingle All the Way a classic?
Not in the way it wants to be.
Not the way it wants to be.
Okay. I know there are a few people that consider it a classic. I don't. I think it's a fine movie, but I don't think it's one that I'd have to watch every Christmas. So, but it's okay. I mean, but yeah, there are people that swear by that show or swear by that movie. But yeah, I've never felt that way about Jingle All the Way.
You can go, life imitates art, but like in the worst way possible, because there's Turbo Man action figures like in the packaging from the movie and everything, and it's literally just sitting on the Walmart shelves.
Wow,
nobody buys them at all. I'm like, wow, art really doesn't imitate life sometimes.
Is that Arnold's only Christmas movie? Is it? It is, right? It's
no, Commando takes place during Christmas too.
Does it? All right. I didn't realize.
I mean, you can't tell because he goes to Colombia, but other than that,
right, to rescue his daughter Alyssa Milano.
Are you insinuating that Colombia they don't celebrate Christmas?
No, there's no snow there, so you can't tell it's winter.
Oh,
no.
Oh, okay. Hey, well, that is fair. I can get behind that. Cocaine joke.
Insert cocaine joke here.
Cocaine joke here. So yeah, I mean that's.
Wait, does that make Scarface a Christmas movie then?
I love Scarface. I can watch
because he let it snow.
I mean, just because it's snowing doesn't mean it's a Christmas.
I could watch that any day of the week. I love that. I love Scarface. That's one of my favorite movies.
I love Scarface, but the censored version. How would I get these scars from eating pineapple? I love that. I love the censored version.
You know what's funny? I have the 4K disc, and I think the censored scenes are on
and
it.
It's so good.
It's good. Yeah.
I have to tell you, the DVD companies that put out the censored versions or the TV censored versions on Blu-rays are my favorite people in the world because they did that for RoboCop as well, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. They
you forget how much they curse in that movie until you watch the version where they had to change all the words.
Yeah. By the way, if I may, one movie that never gets talked about during this holiday season, no one talks about because not very many people know about it. It came out like 11 years ago, and it's a movie called Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale.
Oh yeah.
Good.
You know why they don't talk about that, Greg? Because there's a lot of male penis showing in that movie.
First of all right.
Male penis.
Right. I just realized that I said male penis.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were any other kind, but okay.
It's a different world out there, Greg. It's a different world now.
It's a good point. All right. Well, we don't want to delve into
but
that.
To go back to my point, I'm pretty sure that's got something to do with it. You know, there's a lot of naked penis in that movie.
Is it subtitled or is it dubbed?
It's subtitled.
It's both, I think.
It's both. Yeah, it's subtitled.
On the Blu-ray, it's both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It actually is good though.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It's really good. That kid in that movie is actually he made another movie with Samuel L. Jackson, I think called Big Game, the one where Samuel L. Jackson plays the president. That's actually a good movie too. That's not a Christmas movie though.
A movie.
Richard says Lethal Weapon 1. That's a great Christmas movie. Richard in the
chat. Who doesn't like watching Christmas where Mel Gibson puts a gun in his mouth? Oh wait, never mind. That is pretty good now.
Am I seeing that right? Sorry, have you guys been on the live stream for 3 hours and 21 minutes?
Yes, we've been here for a long time. We've been
the world. Okay,
it's probably my fault.
We were about to end when Gannon showed up.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Yeah, so we were about to end.
And then we were about to end, and then Franny showed up. So we're about to end again, and I'm wondering who's going to pop in.
And you know what? Todd's probably going to jump in next.
Todd had to leave. It was a shame. He left as soon as you came in, which is totally weird.
Should I get Barry on the phone?
Because it's the same person.
Todd always leaves after I come.
Hey,
you know, a Christmas movie that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm not sure if any of you have recently to know whether or not it still holds up is Scrooged.
Oh, Scrooge is fantastic.
Bill Murray.
We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
I watch that every year.
I really do. I think it holds up. I think it only holds up because of Bill Murray.
No, I would argue that because when Carol Kane's beating the Christ out of him in that scene, that's like one of the best parts of that whole movie.
It's the best
that is good.
part of the whole movie, in my opinion.
She beats the Christ out of that dude in that movie, and it's hilarious.
It's weird because he doesn't make those kinds of movies anymore. He does everything he does is with Wes Anderson.
I don't know if you know this. He's in his 70s now. I don't think he has the energy to do those kind of movies now.
I understand, but even back then, I mean, listen, his turns in Wes Anderson movies are really good. I really like
Life Aquatic is
my favorite Wes Anderson movie.
It's my favorite too.
I like Moonrise Kingdom. I like Rushmore. I just watched The French Dispatch.
How is it?
It's a little uneven, but still good.
Because it's French.
No, because it's a very odd story, and it's not what you think it is. It's multiple stories in the film, and it's about a newspaper or a magazine that puts out these multiple stories, and you are told the stories that they're actually putting into the magazine.
And this might as well be Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so it was. I would say that it's definitely good. Some stories are better than others, but if you like Wes Anderson, I highly recommend it. Yeah.
On that same vein, did you see Licorice Pizza?
No, I want that. We're waiting for the screener on that. I want to see that so bad. That's Paul Thomas Anderson's new movie.
I want to see it, and then I also am kind of scared to see it.
I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because it's hard
Even
for him
with
to let me
that
down.
love story between a child and an adult, I don't know.
It seems risky, super risky. I understand where you're going with that. I agree. So
I didn't realize that was a Christmas movie.
It's not.
No, not that. No. I was scrolling through a list.
You know what is a Christmas movie?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
And Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is a Christmas movie, and that's a great Christmas movie. I love that movie.
I like that movie.
I
didn't realize it was a Christmas movie.
You know what is a Christmas
but I guess
movie?
It makes sense now.
And who's on the chat for us? Aron, The Long Kiss Goodnight, another one of my favorite movies.
I mean, but if we're going to go by that logic, then we should bring up every Shane Black movie because almost all of them take place during Christmas.
It's true. It's a good point. So was Predator
If
during
we're going to
Christmas?
go by that logic, then we also have to throw in Iron Man 3.
That's true.
Predator during Christmas.
Monster Squad.
No, it's not Monster Squad. Isn't it? What is it?
Okay, first of all, it's the movies he's directed, not just wrote.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, I think A Long Kiss Goodnight is a good pool. I love The Long Kiss Goodnight. That's my favorite Gina Davis movie. Even better than Thelma and Louise. Speaking of talking about strong female roles,
Is
she's
that a
fantastic.
Shane Black movie? Because I'm pretty sure it's not.
Huh? I think that's.
Or were you talking Gina Davis movies? Because I thought we're still stuck on Shane Black for a minute.
No, I don't remember. No, that's a Long Kiss Goodnight is directed by Rennie Harlan. I think Shane Black did write it though.
Oh, did he? No. Okay,
yeah,
well,
so.
that much I knew. But then you threw in Thelma and Louise. I'm like, that's got nothing to do with Shane Black. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's Ridley Scott. So that's trash.
Wait, the director of Alien Covenant made Thelma and Louise?
Yep.
The guy that made The Last Duel that nobody saw made Thelma and Louise?
Hey, The Last Duel wasn't as bad as everybody thought it was.
Nobody. Well, what do you mean everybody thought it was? Nobody went.
I lost where we were.
I have to say thank you to Aron for recommending that. The Long Kiss Goodnight is a great Christmas movie. I'm putting that on my list.
Would you consider Trading Places a Christmas movie?
Yes. Good pool. Okay. With that in mind, is Coming to America. Was that during Christmas or was that just during winter?
I don't know.
I think it was just during winter.
Okay.
I got one that Francine would appreciate.
Which one?
Inside.
Shut up. Oh my gosh. Inside is
Takes place during Christmas though.
It
Where
does.
is Franny?
She left.
Did
She
you
had to go.
You booted Franny?
I completely wasted that for her.
Yeah. Inside. By the way, Cynthia, have you ever seen Inside?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's about a pregnant woman at home alone during Christmas, and she's attacked by a woman from outside that wants to basically take her unborn baby from her.
Take her unborn baby from her.
Sounds really scary.
It's not. It's actually a heartwarming Christmas film.
Elaborate traps.
And so she sets up a bunch of elaborate traps.
There's paint cans
through the power of Christmas, her attacker changes her mind.
That's
Aww.
right. That's right.
That's how that movie ends, through the power of Christmas.
Both
right.
Jesus and Santa come down. And
I
unborn
gotta tell you,
baby.
Greg, when it comes, but going back to the Silent Night, Deadly Night, I gotta argue. I think Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is the one to watch, not the first one.
I would say that you're right.
Only because the majority of Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is Silent Night, Deadly Night, with like 30 minutes of different footage that they filmed to go around it like a framing device.
But
be
that's
honest, where the garbage
though,
day meme comes from. So I would kind of say you should watch part 2 instead.
Wouldn't you have to watch? I would still think I still think you'd watch. I still think you'd watch one for context, though, wouldn't you?
Again, he's recounting the entire first film in most cases for stuff he wasn't even there for.
That's true. That's a good. Yeah.
So really, they're showing you the entire first film. It's a little choppy, but they give you the entire first film. Again, the hilarious part of it being he wasn't even there for most of it, and he's recounting it because the actual killer for the first one's dead before the second one starts.
That's a good point.
But he's the brother, and he's saying, yes, and then this happened. And, as an audience member, you're like, but how the hell do you know? You were a baby when that happened.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, I guess you could skip it. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. You could skip it.
Well,
okay.
Like I'm saying, like if you had to pick one of them, don't just watch the first one. If it has to be just one, just go straight to 2.
Yeah, just go straight to 2. You're
just because the garbage day meme thing is a huge part of that movie, so might as well just go straight to 2.
Good point. I never thought of it that way, but you're right. I guess you don't need the context. It is a little choppy, but you're right. You get the gist.
You get all the stuff that you'd want to see out of it anyway.
Yeah, you're right. 100%.
To be honest with you, when I watch the first movie, I get more preoccupied by all the stuff in the toy store in the backgrounds. But like, oh man, I want those. Because it's all like the old school Star Wars toys from the 80s. It's all that stuff on the shelves as brand new product that's just sitting there.
Oh yeah.
You get distracted by that stuff watching the movie. You're like, oh man, that was brand new and just sitting there.
That's a good point. I never even thought about that. I haven't
Master
seen that movie
Universe toys. It's like all the toys of our youth just on the shelves in the backgrounds. You just get distracted by that.
Jeez. You know what's funny is I owned very few Star Wars toys back in the day. Everything was Transformers or GoBots. It's crazy.
Lame.
Yeah, I know. It's lame. Should have had more Star Wars toys.
I just had a bunch of Barbies.
No, you just should have not had GoBots.
You should have not. You had a bunch of Barbies, really? Oh wow. Okay,
I had no Star Wars toys, and now I have them all.
But Barbie's iconic, right? I mean, for crying out loud, they're finally going to make a movie about Barbie.
I'm excited. That's great casting.
She's super. I mean, she's
Margot
super
Robbie
iconic.
and Ryan Gosling, right?
Is it? Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I think it's Gosling.
Wait,
yeah.
And then who's directing? It was is it
Ridley
Greta?
Scott.
Yeah.
No, it's Greta Gerwig.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, the one that's trying to fight climate change?
It's changed hands a bunch of times.
Yeah.
At one point, it was going to be damn it, I forget her name. Never mind.
Greta Gerwig's a great director, by the way. If no one has ever seen Frances Ha, you should. It's actually really
great.
good.
I like her activism.
Oh, really? Does she have any activism?
She's fighting global warming, dog.
Don't make me not like her. Stop it.
It's getting her confused with the 12-year-old little girl.
Oh, that's Greta Thunberg, you ding dong.
You're saying 12-year-olds can't direct movies?
No, they can't.
Yes.
Not even 12. She's 18.
Aron in the chat says, I also
None
always
of those.
watch
No, sorry, Aron.
Love
no.
Actually, Serendipity, You've Got Mail. Trapped in Paradise is a good one. I love Trapped in Paradise and the Apartment.
Don't love it. No.
Can I? All right. Can I okay.
That's what Aron
Don't
likes.
defend Love Actually, please.
Can I defend? Okay. If I can't defend Love Actually,
so well.
all right. If I will not defend Love Actually, but can I defend Serendipity? Serendipity with John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale is a very good romantic film. I really like Serendipity.
So. It's no Grosse Pointe Blank.
It's about Christmas, though.
Huh?
I'm not sure you can say it's about Christmas, though.
I think it is during Christmas, if I'm not mistaken.
It's kind of just so happens to take place during Christmas.
Well, then you're going to discount Die Hard too. Come on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, because he literally puts the gun on his back with Christmas wrap tape.
Can I? Okay.
Tape?
I thought it was duct tape.
It was duct tape.
No,
okay.
you can see if you look carefully. I think you can see like mistletoe stuff printed on the tape, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, we'll see. I gotta see. I gotta have to watch it.
I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure.
Can I
now I have a machine gun. Ho ho ho! I mean, come on.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Christmas does kind of pop in throughout.
If I can't defend Love Actually, can I defend one thing?
Badly. It keeps coming up on my TikTok too. Everyone keeps doing the dance with, Can
I defend a song in Love Actually?
No.
Is it the Macarena?
No, it actually is the one song that ends the film that I think is fantastic.
Sweet Child of Mine.
I think
Sweet Child of Mine.
No, I think Kelly Clarkson gets very little credit for the song "The Trouble with Love" that she does for that movie. I really like that song. So if I can't defend Love Actually, I will defend that song because I think that song is fantastic.
Well, I mean, you can defend it on the basis of it being a movie, but we're just talking about Christmas movies.
Well, Love Actually is a Christmas movie.
I've never seen it, so I can't vouch for it. But
it's a Christmas movie. It's
let me tell you, girl. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, which one of us are you addressing right now?
Mama, speak your truth.
I think Love Actually I agree with Cynthia. I think Love Actually is overrated. I think it's enjoyable, but it is definitely overrated. I think people put too much into Love Actually. It isn't that great. I think that the same director did a better film called Four Weddings and a Funeral, which is a much better. Yeah, Four Weddings and a Funeral is a much better movie.
Same director's Predator, right?
Now you're just being a dick.
And they're all Christmas movies.
Cool Runnings isn't a Christmas movie, is it? What? Joel says Cool Runnings. So. I don't think it's a Christmas. It's an Olympic movie, a Winter Olympics movie.
I mean, I said The Thing earlier, but that's just because it takes place in the snow. It's not even during Christmas.
Right. I don't think it is during Christmas. Great movie, by the way, though. I really liked it.
It's like saying The Ref is a Christmas movie.
The Ref is a Christmas movie with Dennis Leary. That's a great movie. The Ref. Okay, here's the thing, though.
Wait. When does Misery take place?
Not during Christmas, unfortunately. Not during Christmas. It's wintertime.
I know it's in the snow, but I couldn't remember if it's wintertime or not.
Here's the thing about The Ref, though. If you've never seen The Ref, it stars Dennis Leary, who's great in it. It has Paula Davis. Is her name Paula Davis? She's great in it. And
Viola Davis?
Paula Davis. And then, of course, it also
Viola
has
Davis and Paula
Kevin
Davis.
Spacey is in that movie as well.
Viola Davis and Paula Abdul.
So he's in it. So if you've never seen The Ref, I think you should. Okay. Cynthia, Aron says, fine then. How about The Holiday?
Boo.
That's the one with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz?
Cameron Diaz, yes. That's the one.
No, sir.
Wow. Okay, look, is it okay for a guy to be a hopeless romantic and watch these movies?
Absolutely. I don't, but I think you know what, guys, much might be my internalized misogyny. Far be it from me.
You know what? I'm glad you're admitting this on the show tonight.
Sure. I mean, but it's just sentimental drivel. Like there's no substance there.
I agree, but I have to say I'm a sucker.
Do it.
I'm a sucker for sentimentality, no doubt. I mean, I wish real life was like that, and maybe you get hung up on that. But I do like that. I mean, does it make me a weak male?
No.
Yeah.
All right,
Greg. All right. There's a lot of things that make you a weak male.
Why would I say that when I've got these idiots in here? Oh,
I know, right?
Oh my god!
Because
anyway,
you're almost 4 hours into
I'm a glutton for punishment. Anyway, we have been on way too long. There's a ton of Christmas movies you should watch. Thank you for bringing up all the Christmas movies you came up with. Trapped in Paradise with Nicolas Cage.
Go see Spider-Man: No Way Home. The ending is during Christmas.
Yeah, the ending is during Christmas. He
swings to Rockefeller Center with the tree. You know what that means? Hawkeye was probably hanging out there.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. Hey.
He probably swung right over Hawkeye.
Yeah, he could have. He definitely could have. And as you know, this is the most wonderful time of year. So, of course, Aron says, "Don't worry, still love you, Sin." That's yeah. That, see,
never
that's,
doubted it, Aron. I never doubted it.
That's the sentimentality right there for you. Well, listen. I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone in the chat. So to Richard, to Joel, and everybody else, Aron, and everybody else that I missed, Ron Cataguy, and the rest of the crew. We will be back.
What time is it in LA right now? Well, I mean, I know Cindy's
1
there
a.m.
too. I was going to say, good Lord, you guys are up late.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been on for almost.
My kid doesn't have to go to school
hours.
tomorrow, and he's not even here. So,
all right. Ron says, "Nice seeing all of you together again." Well, those that showed their faces anyway, have a happy whatever you celebrate.
Ron Cataguy needs to come back to the next convention, by the way.
Yeah, Ron Cataguy does. Yeah, I love Ron Cataguy. He's the man. I certainly love him. Hopefully he'll be back for the next Maui Comic-Con, which would be a lot of fun.
I want to hug that man.
Yeah, me too. I want to hug him too. I want to hug him maskless.
Ooh,
that's how much I love him.
That sounds kinky.
It is. It's a little.
Wait, yeah. What kind of mask? Like a gimp mask, or like a Freddy Krueger mask?
I said mask less. Oh, good. Ron says he will try in 2022. Fantastic. That is so awesome.
That's what I want to hear.
Ron and I will be on the same plane.
Cynthia making her way back. She'll make an excuse to come up here. She'll have like work to do or something, which would be great.
All the head bobbing.
Yeah. She'll have work to do. But yes, we'll be back January 5th. We'll be back on Wednesday, January 5th. The eve of January 5th. So
the eve of destruction.
Yeah, the eve of January.
The Gregory Hines Christmas movie.
It's not a Christmas movie, but that's actually a decent Gregory Hines vehicle. I like that movie. Was Running Scared a Christmas movie? I love that movie. It was snowing in Chicago. I don't remember if it was Christmas, but that's one of my favorite buddy cop movies of all time. Running Scared. That's great. Aron would like to shed some advice. Whatever you do, skip Matrix Resurrections this weekend. Aron does not approve.
Wow.
I said that already.
That's Gannon, Aron. They agree.
Do you know how rarely me and Aron agree on stuff?
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That should tell you everything you need to know right there.
And G and Todd agreed on Spider-Man.
We agreed on Spider-Man. It was crazy. You know what it is? It's the holidays, Cynthia.
No, you know what, Greg, you know what it actually is? Greg, you know what it actually is? We're in the Matrix.
We are in the Matrix.
Something changed in the Matrix.
Running Scared is a Christmas movie. Done. It's on my list. I love Running Scared. It's fine.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna say that Matrix Revolutions is amazing. It's amazing, or Resurrections. It's an amazing movie. And
I mean, you gave
everybody else got it wrong.
So.
Greg, have you heard anything about how the movie ends?
No, don't tell me. I can't wait to be
I'm
disappointed.
not going to. What I will say though is, if at any point you are on board with that movie and you like anything that you see in it, I can guarantee you that you in particular are going to hate the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Oh, man.
And you're going to know exactly why I'm saying that for you in particular, why you're not going to like that movie and absolutely hate it. Even if you love everything up to the last 10 minutes, I already know you're going to hate the last 10 minutes of the movie.
So what I'm going to do
is it might not even be 10 minutes. It might be like 5 minutes.
Just going to watch the last 10 minutes.
So does that mean is this movie so bad that I can post it on my 8chan thread for QAnon?
It's not bad per se. It's just that, like, what it's trying to get away with, it just doesn't really work. But again, one more time, the last 10 minutes of that movie, you in particular, I already know you're gonna absolutely hate that whole movie based on nothing more than the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Wow.
I'm so excited to be outraged.
And you know what? That's exactly what it's going to be. You're going to be outraged. It's not going to even be like a neutral, like, I didn't like it, I didn't care for it. You're going to flat out be like, this movie sucks. I hate what it represents and what it's trying to say. It's going to be that for you.
Wow.
I guarantee it.
You know what?
Cynthia.
At the end, everyone's trans. That's what. That's
wow.
how it goes.
Cynthia, It's gonna be the MCU all over again.
MCU. Oh God, stop reminding me. We had our own MCU in here. We had Francine and myself.
That's true. We totally did.
I'm not lying, Greg. You're gonna watch that and be like, you're gonna be like, this is the most woke crap. This is your opinion, not mine. You're gonna be like, this is the most woke crap I've ever seen in a movie. That's what you're gonna say. I guarantee it.
I can't wait.
I once again say, not my opinion, but that's gonna be yours.
All right. Well, listen, I can't wait. I love fake outrage. It's one of my favorite things. So
I think you're going to be legitimately outraged.
Okay. All right. So we'll find out January 5th. I mean, that's the eve of the anniversary of the insurrection. So if I watch this movie, Resurrections will make me cause another insurrection. Can I say that without getting canceled?
Ooh.
It's going to be more like Matrix embolism because that's what you're going to have after you see it.
Ooh.
I can't make an insurrection joke. It's not
like I want Cindy to watch it soon just so she'll know what I'm talking about. Because even she'll be like, I already know Greg's going to hate the way this movie ended.
Okay.
Man, if it wasn't 1 a.m., I'd watch it right now.
We both have to watch this movie then. Done.
Will. And
I didn't even mind it.
I hate it, but
I honestly didn't even mind it, but at the same time, like, wow, Greg and people like Greg are gonna hate this crap so much.
Wow!
I can't wait to talk about it, Sin. That's gonna be awesome. January 5th.
People
Stay
like
tuned.
Greg.
Yeah. Hey, listen. I
didn't say it.
I'm the gift that keeps on giving all year long.
It's the season.
Okay, Greg, you said that wrong. Anytime you say something like that, you have to say it. Now, listen, pay attention because I'm going to do it for you, okay?
Oh, yeah, you go.
I'm the gift that keeps on giving. Pause.
Yeah.
Ladies. That's how you're supposed to say that.
Fair. All right.
That's how you're supposed to say that.
All right. Well,
It's probably not going to work for you. It's certainly not worked for me, but you should give it a shot.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is, since Sin's gonna be my lady filter, I'll pass those on and see if I'll see if they work on her, and if they work on her, they might be successful outside of the pod.
Sounds like a maxi pad. That sounds like a maxi pad brand, a lady filter.
Oh my God, what's going on anymore?
All right, we got to pull the plug out.
Yeah, well, no kidding. We got to get out of here. We've been here for 3 hours and 45 minutes. It's been a lot of fun, guys. I love you guys.
Great.
Merry Christmas. We'll be back January 5th.
To do longer episodes like this again.
Yes.
Can this episode be called Lady Filters?
No, it can't.
Yes, it should.
No, it can. We will be back in 2022, January 5th. Have a wonderful Christmas, ladies and gentlemen. So for my my good peoples, Gannon, Phormat, Kai, and the extremely lovely Cynthia, thanks for sticking through. I am G Money. Until next time, peace out, much love, and most assuredly, always stay nerdy. And we'll see you guys in 2022. Aloha.